All right, welcome to Straight Red Card. Another less than sufficient show, apparently, covering the U.S. men's national team.
I was gonna say, wait, what's less sufficient? We got a whole lineup of tabs to cover here.
Yeah, we do. We got so many tabs; they're coming out of our butts.
Well, do.
Yeah. Anyhow, a lot to cover tonight.
A lot,
including our insufficiency, right? So we're gonna try to do better. Apparently at 1.4 hours a week of live broadcast wasn't enough, and then 2 hours a week still not enough, Brett. Plus now the recorded shows that we do, it's just not good enough. So anyhow, yeah,
we'll get into that very shortly.
We will.
I want to let some people chime in or jump in here real quick. Not literally onto the show, but into the chat.
Are we going to cover yesterday's game?
What happened yesterday?
The finals of the World Cup.
we got some World Cup topics, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to let you rip it then.
Yeah.
Let's just do it because we got so many tabs. We may not get through it tonight.
We might crash tonight. Yeah. Again, while we're waiting for some people to jump in here real quick, I just want to go over a little bit of fluff for us.
Okay.
And I want to get your take on this. Now, we're just going to scroll past the intro part there because we don't need that for this.
Well, congrats to whoever left that little bait package sitting on the porch like it was some kind of trap. You absolutely destroyed the inside of my Tesla and ruined my entire day. I walked by, saw an Amazon package sitting there unattended, and tossed it into my back seat.
As one does?
Yeah, thinking it was just a normal delivery box. Huge mistake. The second I made a turn and the thing tipped over and exploded everywhere. Glue, confetti, sticky junk. He stole somebody's package.
Yeah, but this person baited him to steal it, though. Just left the package out there unattended, Derek. Everybody would steal that package.
It's not your package, dickface. Don't pick
now
it up.
Tesla's ruined.
My Tesla now looks like a kindergarten art project. Well, too bad, dumbass.
He's got to go and spend money he probably doesn't have because he's stealing packages to fix the inside of his Tesla. All thanks to this giant prick who's setting bait packages out there.
I don't know what that has to do with politics, but I will say this. If you're walking around taking people's packages because they're not close enough to their houses or building, you're just asking for trouble.
Where's it at? There's a let's see here. Where was it?
I'm glad your day was ruined.
Okay. He talks about here we go. He's genuinely debating filing a police report because the whole thing is ridiculous.
No, what's ridiculous is you took somebody else's fucking package and put it in your car, dumbass.
Yeah.
So having no idea what it is, not like looking at the address and going, "Oh, where should this be?"
So I'm gauging by your tone, Derek, that you're not a big fan of package thieves.
I've never had a package thief, right? I mean, unless you want to talk about some of the gals that on the tours I was with, they thieved some of my package. But
I don't need a phone and a watch, Derek. Come on.
No, my package, not anything I owned.
So so here it is. Now, I don't know. That just looks like, he had an accident in there. And he's trying to cover it up with a bomb package.
Don't almost all Amazon packages come with an address with the person's names on it to which it belongs?
It's right here. Yeah, it was just unattended on his porch. So he's like, hey, clearly nobody's wanting this package. I'll just take it and throw it in my back seat.
On his porch or somebody else's porch?
Somebody else's porch.
Well, then he's a fucking moron.
He's driving by. He sees a box. You got to pick up the box.
He needs
the box.
He needs to be arrested. That's called thievery. All right. I'm glad.
Cannon Pond says I'm listening to this while delivering.
Yeah, kind of ironic, isn't it? All right.
Oh man, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for these people.
I don't either.
And I know a lot of those videos out there are AI. The ones where like walking by and they get like the baby gender bombed. They all of a sudden they're like covered in blue or pink dust or whatever. You know, I know some of those are fake, but it makes me feel good. I wish all package thieves would have this issue.
Well, there's a whole guy that makes videos about this on YouTube, and he puts everything in them from roaches. So when you open the box, it's just full of loose roaches.
Yeah.
And they scurry all over your apartment when you get back to your place to open it. That's what you do.
There's nothing better than seeing bad people get gotten. You know?
Yeah.
Let's not that corner shit. They are bad people.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you brought that onto yourself, dumbass. That's my response to that piece.
All right. Well, we're sitting at 49 people listening to us right now, so let's move on to some still love topics. They're not soccer related topics still, but let's move on to some other fun stuff.
Okay.
Sure, you saw Derek. Pete and Tact are officially done with Twitter or YouTube.
Yeah, right.
They're out. They're like, hey, we've had enough. This is we only said to this point, and then we said we're done. And you have Tact posted a whole video about why he's out, only to come back and say,
"I'm in."
We got brought back in. So I'm gonna let Tact use his own words to explain why he's him and Peter saying.
Okay.
The other reason that I believe it's important for us to stay is, again, no arrogance here, just calling a spade a spade. Besides Pete that provides incredible coverage, I still haven't seen a channel pop up that provides the U.S. men's national team the coverage it deserves. Until that shows up,
hallelujah,
I don't think we will ever quit. And even if someone does show up, maybe we'll partner with that person. And if that's you, do it right now. Start your channel. But
all right.
I thought we were kind of partners.
Until another channel comes to dethrone them. They're like, we can't back out now, guys.
I thought we were friends. What happened here? What happened to our friendship, Tact? What happened?
Oh man,
I don't feel like I know you anymore. Pete just shouted us out the other week, and now this.
Jake threw us under the bus, and now this, right?
Now Tact's throwing us under the bus, man.
Come on,
only apparently Pete is good enough. What's going on here?
Oh, rough.
I mean,
rough.
It's
rough. You know, it's a wild west out here, Derek.
We only do 2 hours a week. All about U.S. soccer. We used to do 4.
Yeah, guaranteed to.
For years.
Guaranteed at least 2, Derek. We have other stuff too. Well, hell, we just did an hour-long recorded show last week.
Yep, and spaced them out. So we're doing recordings. Hey, we do Yanks Abroad reports too, Tat. Have you not seen those, man? What's up with you, man? I feel betrayed. I do feel betrayed.
Tony, I saw you in the comment section of Pete's show, or Tax episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we need to start.
And Tony's defense, he was saying, "Hey, yeah, you should be staying," which we're all saying, right? We're all saying that,
right? But I think that we need our people to start letting Tact know that there are other contributors out there. And
he just thinks that we're the stepsister advice show, and that's fair.
That's really hurtful. All right. Well, I do have your phone number, Tact. Maybe it's time for a phone call between you and I. Maybe we need to bring you on the show and have you explain that to us. Feel like we put in our time here. All right. Our feelings hurt, a little hurt. They're a little hurt.
We're made of sterner stuff, Derek, than that.
We are. No, I mean
sterner stuff.
It's nice that Pete gave us a shout out the other week. So but that doesn't mean the whole team's on board with Pete, apparently. It's just half the team. Half the team. All right, well, Tac, we'll see you soon.
We'll remember it.
I'm glad you're not quitting.
Yeah.
We didn't want you to quit. Although, frankly, it might have helped us a little that he quit. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
He's up to 69,000 followers.
Well, where are they going to? If he quits, where are they going?
Only stands a reason that they got to come here, right?
You would think they have no other choice. Who else is doing a Yanks Abroad report on the weekly? Us.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, no, we're kidding around, Berliner. But
No,
you know,
it's all for fun.
it's all for fun. But I watched it too, and I went, what? When I watched that clip, I was like, what? Come on, man. Come on, man. All right. Anyhow, so we'll be in touch with TAC, soon.
We'll get a stern text later.
Yeah. I've got one. I've already typed up a couple. I haven't figured out how to do it yet, how to send it yet.
Yeah, you're looking for the right words. I get it.
I'm looking for the right words, Brett, because I want
to.
I want to relay my pain in a very, thoughtful way.
I don't mean to burn bridges here, but
maybe he's mad because we haven't asked him to be on the show for a while.
Fair enough. Let's
and that's true. We haven't, and you
need to text him and say, hey, we're unknown USMNT national team show. We'd like to have you on the show soon.
No,
I feel like we might be able to take the reins. I'm just saying.
We only have 40 followers, and we're really looking to build on that.
Super big.
All right. Okay. All right. Enough of that.
Speaking of building upon themselves.
Yeah.
Weird. We've covered a number of sporting rebrands before. We talked about Juventus. We talked about Chicago. We talked about Chicago again. We talked about Chicago again. Columbus, all these teams had their rebrands and stuff, and you really gotta, nail it home with the brand and the name and all that stuff. Sporting, Kansas City wasn't always sporting. At one point they were the Wiz.
Okay.
Well,
we're the Wiz.
Speaking of, it's not Kansas City by any means, but Oklahoma and USL. Apparently, they're renaming themselves as well.
Oh God, this is.
I don't think we need
horrible.
We don't need to play the video by any means, I'm sure.
No,
but this comment here. Let's see. Just go over them real quick.
This is so bad. So there were a bunch of names up. Like I personally don't mind Bison FC. I think that's kind of cool. It's an American animal icon, right? They
haven't had a bison there in like a couple hundred years, but sure.
No, they got bison there now. They absolutely do. Bison are back, baby.
In Oklahoma?
They're back, yeah.
In Oklahoma?
They're bison in fucking Indiana, dude. Did you know that?
How many bison are in Oklahoma?
Yep.
I gotta find this out. Yeah, you know what? You get a little over 7,000. I'll give you that. Okay, fair enough.
They brought them back. Yeah.
You got history and animals there now, so I'm cool with it.
So now, OKC Lightning. There's already a fucking hockey team named that. That's
true.
Stupid. And I am so done with natural disasters being named for fucking or natural things that happen in the sky or tidal waves or tornadoes or avalanches. Fuck all that shit. And fuck your lightning. Glad that didn't make it. Thunderbird. I don't know. That's a car.
That sounds familiar though too.
It's a car. I suppose you could. I mean, it's a bird. I suppose that would have been okay. And then OKC Wind is just stupid as hell. Who came up with that? Breaking Wind. There's so many fart jokes you could make with that. And when is another? That's just another natural occurring thing in nature. Wind. All right. It's not even an animal. Find at least something like tangible. Wind's not tangible. I guess it is when it blows in your face. You can feel it. But it's not really like lightning, and that's all stupid shit. So what did they end up naming this fucker?
Hold on real quick. I mentioned the Thunderbirds sound familiar, and I'm not sure any of these are names I've heard before, but there is the Springfield Thunderbirds, which is an AHL, American Hockey League team.
Okay.
That filters into the St. Louis Blues.
It's not horrible.
There's the Halifax Thunderbirds. There's the Seattle Thunderbirds. There's the UBC Thunderbirds.
Okay, too many Thunderbirds then.
Too many Thunderbirds.
Okay.
And why would you land on Thunderbirds? And why?
I don't know. Maybe there are a lot of people that drive them. Because Thunderbird was a car too. Otherwise, all stupid except for Bison, in my opinion, although Thunderbird is better than lightning and fucking wind. What's
wrong with just Oklahoma City? Do you really even need a name on top of it, though?
I mean, you could go with Oklahoma.
Slap an SC on there, and you got a club.
You could. I do like the teams that have like names like the Sounders. I like that as a name.
What about
Timbers.
Sporting Oklahoma City FC United? It's too much.
How about Rossing, Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Made sense in Indiana where we have racing, but doesn't make sense many other places. No, I'm guessing they went with United, right?
The Oklahoma
Panhandles.
I like that.
What about?
I think that's pretty. Original.
They used to have the Tulsa Roughnecks in the NASL. That's a really fun, cool name. The Tulsa Roughnecks. I don't know what a roughneck is. I'm imagining it's a kind of gritty, hard-nosed, fighting kind of tough guy. That sounds like fun. But all these names, except for Bison, you could have done the Thundering Herd. Would have been a good name, FC. Thundering Herd's a great name for a team. That's my Carlisle High School. The name of the high school was the Carlisle Thundering Herd. It was, and all of the images were a bunch of buffaloes, like 3 or 4 buffaloes running over a field. Now that's cool. All right. There you
go. Cammy says OKCFC.
LC's getting old. Oh, by the way, somebody said oil workers. Those are roughnecks. Roughnecks are oil workers. Thank you. I couldn't remember what they were.
So I was curious. I forgot what Oklahoma's team name was, and I'm actually okay with the idea of rebranding at this point because it was OKC United.
Well, what are they going to name it now? What are they naming? Oh, fast forwarding because there's a picture of the new logo. And what is the new logo?
No, they've redone the logo. They didn't change the name, it looks like then.
Yeah, it's OKC United. That sucks. And this logo sucks. It sucks. It's garbage. And then all of the justification for it, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm not really hating on the logo.
You know what part that ruins it? The OKC
bottom part?
Yes.
This part right here?
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm looking at the rest of the crest. I'm like, I don't mind the crest.
The badge is horrible.
Yeah. That's not necessary, I guess. I mean, quite frankly, you remove that, and okay, it's cool. You don't need to have the name on the crest.
You don't need OKC United below it. You don't. Blow that out, and you got a real badge. Get rid of it.
Says it looks like a logo from NWSL.
Well, because it's pink.
Yeah, pinkish.
But pink. Only Miami uses pink, so I guess you can roll with pink, right?
Mm.
Pink,
that's almost, like I said, it's almost like a pink/peach kind of color.
Peach is pink, sort of a vaginal color of some sort.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
All right, fair enough.
All right.
Cancel on that. What do we have up next? Okay. we talked about the World Cup briefly and saying are we covering the World Cup? And I figured we go ahead and start off strong. And Spain ended up winning. Spoiler alerts, of course. We'll get into more detail about the game itself, but usually the team's extremely happy to grab that trophy and wave it up in the air and stuff like that. But I actually figured out that's not what they were most excited about.
Oh yeah,
they're most excited about what the board and Trump handed out to them on stage. Let's take a look at this real quick.
Oh God, yeah, I don't
think we don't need audio for it.
They're handing out air conditioners. Some people know how to troll, man. This is a troll.
I love it. Let's actually do the audio because I like the audio. I didn't actually listen to it. I was just like, oh, that's funny.
What a troll.
Great game. This AC unit is for you. Gracias, Mr. President. It's so cool. Best ACs, better than metals. Enjoy the cool. Thank you so much. This is amazing. You're welcome. Let's hear it for the team. Gracias a todos.
Whoever made this gets the award for one of the best trolls ever. By the way, Ferran Torres, during the celebrations today, apparently wore a red "Let's Make Spain Great Again" hat today. So, even though there's been all this conflict between, the Prime Minister of Spain and Spain and Trump administration, apparently some of the players like Trump. So whatever, like who you want. I don't give a shit. But anyhow, for the 90 of you here right now, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with your grandma. I always forget to do that. Anyhow, some good trolling. That's just good-hearted trolling. That's all that is.
Well, I mean, FIFA was pretty excited about the opportunity of handing Messi another trophy. That they got a little rock hard dirt before the game.
All right. I'm glad that wasn't made out of gold. That's a lot of money sitting on the field.
It's not Messi can win another one before he retires. Yeah.
I did not see the blowing up part, so my dad and I were joking while it was on the pitch that if that's real gold, that's just a real misuse of a lot of gold.
Yeah.
So good to know it was a blow up dong. Well, baby, you're making me so hot. I'm getting really horny. Okay.
All right, fair enough. Oh no! Then now this is what it looked like when Messi lost. Oh.
Yeah. Well, for some people. Yeah.
Oh man.
But to be fair, honestly, Argentina deserved to lose that game. Let's just be fair.
They didn't have a shot until the overtime.
It would have been
a shot.
A tragic, it would have been against all of that is right in the world had Argentina beat Spain.
I would have flipped the lid after that game if they would have had one opportunity on goal and scored it. I would have been like, it's fixed. All this shit's fixed.
Yeah, England should have beat Argentina. That's correct, and they can blame that on Tuchel. And by the way, the England France third place game was a hell of a lot of fun to watch.
Goal every 10 minutes.
There wasn't a whole lot of defense, but it was fun to watch. And then here's the problem with the Spain-Argentina game. If you were a casual out there, this is the message I got from my casuals. Wow. That final, that was like one of the worst games in the whole World Cup. It sucked.
That's why I made the comment after the England-France game. And I'm like, wow, I guess Americans like that one.
Yeah. So
no, that's the thing, though. I mean, I could even respect the game that was being played there, but even I was getting like,
yeah, it was poor,
a little snoozy.
It was one of the worst games of the World Cup, and it just happened to be the final. And the fact that Argentina played like a bunch of fucking thugs and didn't want to play the game, that was a shame. That was really a shame. But maybe that's the only way they thought they could win, which maybe is true. But still, go out playing like men, real men.
Manly man.
Not a bunch of that fakey shit and all that crybaby stuff and all the fakery and thuggery and fake hard assness. And then they couldn't even pull it together after the game and be like human fucking beings, right? Except for Messi. Messi wasn't involved with it. Well, it's the Cucurella thing where Cucurella says
that was fucking shameful.
That was shameful. Cucurella comes over and said he got hit in the mouth, and he briefly
points to
his
his
mouth.
It was that right there. Like
Briefly
you couldn't
points-
even. It looked like he was almost like doing like some kind of a kiss and gesture towards Messi, like "Hey, respect you" type of thing. I couldn't tell what he said.
Yep.
But I mean, it was like that, and he's like,
yeah. And then he tried to get him in trouble
dude.
for covering his mouth. So the whole team, all right, scratch Messi being an exception to that rule. The whole team were a bunch of dumbass jerks. That was just jackassery across the board for Argentina. It was embarrassing for the casuals watching, and my dad even said, because we watched it at my parents' house on yesterday, he said that just probably Americans, you probably just lost a few million Americans on that game alone. watching that because they probably think that's what soccer is now. Because there were probably a few million people who just tuned in just to watch the final for the first time to see what this whole soccer thing was. And now what they watched made soccer look like shit. And maybe he's right. I don't know if that's the case. I guess we'll find out.
Man, Facebook is having an issue. You can't stop using Facebook.
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
For the almost 100 of you here, about 96 of you, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma you are on. You can do that on Twitter if you're watching there, on Facebook, which apparently just died, and YouTube. Thanks for hanging out with us. All right.
Derek, what did you think of the halftime show?
I thought it was not offensive or anything, but I did think it was a snooze fest, and it didn't entertain me at all. And I didn't know who some of the people were, but that's fine. I'm old. And I was more actually offended that Tom Cruise got to speak. I don't know what why Tom Cruise? What the fuck does he have to do with soccer?
I mean, Will Ferrell would make more sense than Tom Cruise. Matthew McConaughey would make more sense.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking sport. It makes sense. Ryan Reynolds would have been great to have out there.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds would have been going. Will Ferrell would have at least been funny.
Yeah.
You know? But they didn't want funny. They wanted sincere, right?
Well, they wanted celeb status is what they wanted. That's been the MO the entire World Cup. Every time they pan over to the fan base or the crowd, it's always, ooh, hey, look at this celebrity. And half the time I'm going, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
Why are we looking at this person?
And by the way, for as old as Tom Cruise is, I have to say this, Tack, you may be taller than Tom Cruise. I'm not sure you're better looking. He still is a good looking dude for his age. See how I slipped in?
He's got to this.
You see how I slipped in a jab? I slipped in a jab attack.
Well, you can't come out and say you slipped in the jab. No, it takes away the jab.
So no, I got to point out that I didn't think you recognized. I just made a jab attack.
I heard you.
Send this to Tack. I made a tack. I made a jab attack. All right. Anyhow, it's all in good fun.
Real quick, Larry
Sure.
for $2 says offer gifts to Lund, Maloney, Banks, and Musa.
I'm not giving any gifts to Banks. He was invited. He turned it down.
The kid's got to earn his way back at this point.
Yeah.
I'm willing to allow him to earn his way back, but
No,
he's got to make that commitment.
Yep. But Lund, yeah, I mean, looking back at it, I mean, is Lund worse than Arson as a left back? No, I would say he's probably a better left back.
It's just a strange concept that a guy that's in the Bundesliga, and I'll be maybe a weaker side in the Bundesliga.
Yep.
Did they end up getting relegated or anything? I don't even recall.
Yes, they did.
Maloney,
Maloney didn't play that much this season for Mainz, but yeah, I mean, we could have used him as a backup for Adams. And then Musa, I mean, Roldan couldn't even play when he was supposed to against Turkey because of the injury. Shit, you could have thrown Musa out there. But anyhow, I'm not going to go through all the players that shouldn't have been there. Roldan shouldn't have been there. Miles Robinson. Okay, I just did. So there you go. Anyhow, yeah, Talk Sport hated the halftime show.
Larry's saying that Kern is staying up.
Oh, did they stay up? Oh, I forgot. Weren't they in the playoff to stay up? So
real quick.
Is Maloney going to really stay at Mainz? Is my question, Larry. Is he really going to stay at Mainz? Because it doesn't look like if he does, he's going to play.
Kern was outside of the playoffs. They were 14th. So
wow. Okay, how did I miss that at the end of the?
They're only have 3 points off Wolfsburg. So
okay.
So I mean, it may have came down to the final week.
It must have come down to the final week. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't check, so that's on me. I was getting ready for the World Cup. Colin Reese says Tack said only he and Pete had good. Yeah, we covered that at the beginning of the show, my man. We covered that.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're extremely upset about it, Colin. I mean, Brett and I, we had to share a beer. We got together at a bar. We cried about it. And
Derek's been working on a text for 3 hours and has yet to send it.
I haven't, but they're all threatening messages to Tact. I'm threatening him. One for that's just a false statement. Number one, right? So I'm taking him to court for that shit.
Is that slander or libel? That's slander, isn't it? Spoken?
Yeah, it's both.
Yeah. I'm sure he wrote it down somewhere too. You're right.
Anyhow, yeah, Tact, you really screwed up this time, man. We're coming at you.
Man, I know. So I know I talked about this in 2022 when Speed had his pre-song before the World Cup, and I said, who the fuck is that? That was absolute garbage. And I was introduced to who Speed was. I was introduced to who Speed was, and I'm like, okay, cool. I get it. Maybe it's a generational thing, but I still watched this clip. And I'm still like, why? Why? I mean, I understand FIFA wants to pander, but why?
By the way, before you play this, another one you missed there. Tact said Mathis Albert today, too.
He did say Mathis Albert, yep.
All right, Tact. We are coming at you for that, too, motherfucker. You need to start saying Matisse Albert. That is a correct pronunciation. You're on our shit list.
Yeah.
Seriously. You're on a shit list. All right, God damn it.
You just made the list.
I'm trying to be serious here.
All right. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get dinged for this, for something as stupid as this. But I'm like, did you catch this live?
I did not. I didn't. No.
Go back and watch this and just ask yourself.
Do I have to?
Why? You do, actually.
So I can ask myself, why?
You're required to, Derek.
Why is this on?
You're forced to go back and watch. I don't understand. I understand there's a PR thing. I understand that he's big with the kids. He's big with the kids. Kids like him. And you know what? Way to bring in eyeballs in the United States is hit up the streamers. There are a bunch of streamers throughout the World Cup that were invited and included. We didn't get the invite. That's kind of shitty. But there were a couple of them that were at the England Norway game. Mm-hmm. And I don't have the clip for that, but yeah, they're donning their Norway jerseys and rooting for Norway, and the English fans that were in front of them were getting really irritated because they're being a little obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
Which, kind of strange thing to say that an English fan was saying that somebody was being obnoxious, but.
Yeah, I would say because I didn't know the percentage of limp dick crybabies was so. I didn't know the percentage was as high as it was. You're
talking about all the shit we had to deal with before and kind of during the World Cup from posters.
There's still crybabies on there today. Just like United States can never be able to hold the World Cup again. Dehydration breaks.
Don't jump the guns right here, Derek. I got you covered.
Oh, now this guy's from he's Slovakian.
Yeah, I know it's not the same, but
he could probably threaten to kill us, so we better be careful here.
Say it in a very nice voice.
Delayed kickoffs, pointless shows, breaking the rules of the games regarding the 15-minute halftime, ad breaks disguised as hydration breaks, destroying the very core of the sport. Americans don't deserve to host anything ever again. What a bitch. Interesting. All those things were decided by and done by FIFA, not the USA, you moron. Blame the right people. No American voted for or forced FIFA to do any of those things last I checked. Americans don't run FIFA.
Bad news, Derek. We're going to have this narrative running forever now because apparently FIFA's announced mandatory hydration breaks may be scrapped after criticism from fans during the World Cup.
Well, dumbasses, you should never have fucking done it in the first place. It should have been by temperature. Simple as that.
But that's just going to continue the narrative that it was only done for American ad revenue bullshit.
Well,
and don't get me wrong, that might have been the reason they did it to begin with. I'm not arguing that, but again, it's a decision done by FIFA.
Americans are going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, fuck we are.
So
I don't like it. I don't like it. That's why I watched Peacock.
If a bunch of Fox executives go to FIFA and said, "Hey, you need these hydration breaks so we can run commercials," and FIFA goes, "Oh, great idea! Because We get percentage of that, right? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll give you a percentage of that. Then that's on fucking FIFA. They run the fucking show. Okay? It's their fucking World Cup. So you want to blame somebody for anything, you blame FIFA. Period. End of story. End of story.
All right, what we got next? What do we got next here?
Well, Colin, you're right. Some of them are America haters. There is no doubt about that. There are plenty of those too. There's no doubt about that. And, you know, obviously there's lots of media in Europe. I know. I have an aunt who lives. I have cousins that live in Germany. And the shit that they tell me they read about America, I'm just astounded by. I'm really astounded by it because it's all lies. It's just made up shit in their media. So everybody thinks that every 2 blocks, apparently there's a thug with a gun who's going to shoot you and take your money in the United States. Like we're filled with criminals. That's all the whole United States, gun crazy criminals running around shooting people and taking people, stealing people's shit. That's all they think America is.
I know that all those all the people that are out there posting like their time blogging or vlogging their time in America and about how everything was so great regardless of what they did. Hey, we went to Taco Bell. It's the best Mexican food ever. And I know a lot of that was just you know, a little fluff to draw the views and everything like that. But it was fun to hear the people like, so what was your take after, you know, leaving Americans? Like, I thought there was like a guy around every corner with a gun ready to shoot me before I got there. And I got there. It wasn't like that at all. Like, yeah, I know. We've been saying that forever.
It's not as bad as they're making us out to be over there. All right.
Yeah.
It just is not. Americans are not horrible people. Most of us are actually pretty cool people. We're pretty cool, laid back, inviting, accepting. We like foreign people. Most of us, not like when they come here, when they're not welcome, apparently, but when you're here on vacation, generally, I think Americans are very like, hell, where are you from? Oh, Denmark. Cool. What's it like there? I want to know more. I'm curious. Yeah, I think that's generally how Americans are. We are fat, though. You're right, Dad. We are fat.
Can't argue. Our food system sucks, donkey dick.
Yeah, our food is horrible. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, there's some really good food out there. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that food as I don't want to get into the whole food pyramid and food
Processed food.
All of our processed food and all that stuff because everybody agrees it's all garbage. But it's also the cheap shit that everybody can afford.
Yeah, true.
And then you have a big pharma willing to pay or give you a medication to make you skinny again, and it's all one full circle.
Yep,
they're all circle jerking each other. Okay. Lucidity X says, I hate the advertising breaks, but the extra coaching arguably improved the games.
Not all of them, but some of them, yeah.
Alex says, no, the coaching ruins the flow.
That's a good opinion too.
Made the games worse, broke the flow and momentum. I agree with that aspect. Although I'm not disagreeing with Lucidity Axel. It did give the coaches an opportunity to break something down. Hey, this is causing this issue, and they can make changes on the fly, not on the fly anymore at that point because it's a break. But they have that opportunity to sit there and break some stuff down. And there was a change in the game after that. But then again, I do agree that there is that break in the flow of the game, and that I don't like the hydration breaks. I think they're professional players. They can play for 45 minutes before passing out, and they can get hydrated during halftime. And then they go back out there and play for another 20 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever.
If it's actually medically dangerous, then yes, there should be hydration breaks. Other than that, I don't want them. I don't want them.
Recall playing games. I mean, it's different, obviously, as a Ute. You know, we're expecting our kids nowadays to go outside and play games.
I played tennis for 2 hours in 105-degree heat. Yeah, it didn't affect me when I was young. I don't get this. So whatever the doctors determine is dangerous, I guess. Yeah. Which, all right, I don't know. Can you trust them? I don't know. Who knows?
I feel like you can survive 45 minutes, even if it's like 110 degrees outside. You can survive 45 minutes without passing out, as long as you've hydrated prior to the game.
You should be able to. Okay, should.
Fuck this American heat, though. But the Europeans have the same problem right now. They're going through a massive heat wave.
I think it's not just the heat in the United States. In a lot of parts of the United States, it's the humidity and the heat.
Yeah, 100%. I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah.
They're like walking out. And you're just like, it's like you're perspiring just walking in there. I'm like, oh, fuck this shit.
Yeah, it gets ridiculous. That's for
So
sure.
you sent me this clip of Argentines being despicable or whatever. Do you have a timestamp for this?
I don't, but I think it's Craig right at the beginning here.
Right at the beginning?
In one of the worst World Cup finals we have ever seen, Spain, in the end, deservedly get the victory and defeat Argentina. It was Ferran Torres' well-taken goal that proved to be the...
Yeah,
I want to pause right there, though.
Yeah.
Again, they got late game. They got late goals in the extra time. But if Argentina had squeaked in a goal before regulation, very much a Wondolowski style against Belgium in 2014, but he didn't. But if he did, it would have been that big of ridiculous, in that sense.
It would have been
2 shots, all fucking game,
all in extra time.
Yeah, all in extra time. It was an incredibly sad performance and very, very heavy. Favored on Spain, but again, it could have been one of those things. Just in any sport, Argentina could have squeaked one in there and all of a sudden ran away with win. Would have been stupid.
I think if Argentina would have just decided before the game they're just going to go play, I think they would have been. It would have been a better game. Number 1 and 2, I think they would have done better than they would have thought.
Well, I'm sorry to say this, and I know I've taken a bit of heat from other people in my circle, at least. But quite frankly, despite the fact that he had something like 8 goals and 4 assists this World Cup, Argentina was playing against Spain with 10 people.
That's true.
Messi wasn't really offering much of any defensive pressure or anything there, so they were constantly on their heels.
Can I add this point, though? Sure. The number of times that Alvarez got the ball and didn't lift up his stupid fucking head when Messi was standing 15 yards, 10 yards from him, and instead tried to take the ball all by himself through 3 players, and he could have just dropped it off to Messi. The number of times he did that in the game was disgusting. And I don't know how Argentinian fans can't watch that and just be like, who's the best player on this team, dumbass? Pass it to him. Give him the ball.
I had this conversation saying that, bringing that up, and it was my brother about this and everything like that. And I'm like, but I have to add the little caveat to it, but saying, but it's working for them up until this game. Of course, it was working for them that Messi really didn't have to move around the pitch at all or apply any form of defensive pressure. He just sort of coasted around, found the pockets, got a hold of the ball, turned and shot and scored. Mm-hmm. It worked. It worked. I wouldn't argue if we had a player on the United States that ran less than a mile in an entire match, but he had 2 goals. Cool. I'm fine. I'm fine with
that too, and that's how it's been working.
When you're playing against Spain, who's been defensively solid all freaking tournament, led in 1 goal, something like that against Belgium. That was it. And you're basically you have 10 players out there, 9 of which on the field, of course, but 9 players on the pitch trying to defend against the opposition 10 attacking. I mean, it's going to be a factor, I think. And it did.
I mean, I thought it was a factor, but I did think that Argentina forgot at certain points that Messi was on the pitch.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's like when they gained possession, they didn't even look for him. I thought that was really strange. Extremely strange. Very weird. Anyhow, I mean, that's something I noticed. My mom noticed too while we're watching the game. Why doesn't Alvarez, when he gets the ball in their own end and Messi's standing 15 yards from you, why don't you just pass him the ball? Because, by the way, Messi's really good at strolling into open area. And the number of times he just strolled into open space, it would have been a backwards pass or a sideways pass. Who cares? Get it to Messi. It's as simple as that. Yeah. What are you doing, Alvarez, trying to be a hero and dribble through the whole fucking team on your own? You fucking idiot.
Yeah, the little scuffle after the match. That was I believe that's what they're going to be referring to here for the most part.
It was bad. That was bad. It really makes Argentina look like total villains.
Look like a bunch of babies. Look like a bunch of poor babies.
Yeah. I would just fast forward this or scroll through it until you see Craig Burley speak.
I'd go as far as to say
Oh, there we
Argentina
go.
were a complete and utter disgrace today, both with their performance and their antics. We expected the antics. We expected the thuggery. We expected the off-the-ball stuff. But we also expected a lot more on the ball. A lot more purpose, a lot more about their play. They were an utter shambles. They were disgusting, disgraceful. And yeah, I mean, I'm so pleased Spain won.
Yeah.
And I could just see a scenario
Everybody
at the end
felt
of it
that way.
before Spain scored that it was going to go to penalties or they were going to get a scruffy goal, Argentina, and win this. And Spain
Yeah.
tried. They
It was
tried
like
to
I
make
watched
it a
this
good
with somebody,
game. They
didn't watch
tried
it.
to get over the line. The finishing wasn't quite great. Martinez made a lot of saves, but they were comfortable saves. But
I mean, I know we're talking over, but I do got to pause it from time to time.
You know, that's good enough. That's all I wanted to play was that
fair
part. I mean, everybody on the panel agreed, so there's that.
Yeah. Well, what's not to agree with?
I mean,
Exactly
everybody.
what's out there.
I mean, it's me, my mom, my dad watching, and then all the casuals, my brother, all felt the same way. Had Spain lost that game, it would have been criminal because Argentina played like criminals in that game. So
here are the rankings, the FIFA World Rankings after the World Cup.
okay.
Or is this just of the World Cup teams, right?
Yes, I think so.
So how they finished within the World Cup.
I think we.
'Cause I don't see it. I don't recall seeing Italy on this list.
No, they're not. So this is just the World Cup people's teams, and we finished 12th. And that's not like something they pull out of their asshole. That's based on total points, goal difference, etc.
Okay, fair enough. I was going to say because I'm like, could you? I mean, it's funny that that England got the third place, but they're listed as fourth here.
Yeah, that is a bit odd.
Yeah.
But maybe they tied a game somewhere. I don't know. That's a good question. How did they beat out France when they actually won the third place game? How did they not beat out France? I don't trust a lot of these fucking things. Okay, this is not.
There is Italy. No, this must be the actual rankings.
No, it's not, because in the actual rankings we finished 12th. That's whatever we're.
FIFA World Rankings.
Oh, FIFA World Rankings after the World Cup. That's a totally different thing. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought this was the FIFA World Cup rankings after the World Cup.
Yeah.
But this is just overall rankings. Yeah, okay. Italy's still ahead of us. For how? I guess we'll have to figure that out at some. How Norway isn't ranked higher than Italy? I can't even come up with an answer for that. That doesn't make any fucking sense at all. None. Absolutely none. I mean, I guess the Euros may weigh heavily on this. Still, I don't know the degradation of the aggregate points system. Like how?
Well, I guess it also depends on where Norway was prior to the World Cup too, or where the rankings, were they constantly moving up? Because I mean, prior to this last, this World Cup cycle, before Holland was really a thing. I mean, where were they falling in the scheme of things? They haven't been to a World Cup since what, like '98, was it?
Who? Italy?
Norway.
Oh, Norway.
Italy too,
Oh,
no.
yeah. Long time for Norway.
It might as well have been Italy, right? No.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that would explain why Norway is not beyond Italy at this point. But although it's a question mark as far as why Italy is, I guess they do well enough in Euros and whatnot, I guess. So maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the FIFA rankings suck, people. So I don't even know if I would use those ever. There are better rating systems out there for national teams. Why we keep using FIFA is because they're the ones who determine what the seeds are, right? So we got to pay attention to FIFA rankings, but generally their rankings are garbage.
I mean, technically, there was a moment back in 2006 where we were ranked fourth in the world. We didn't get a seed.
That was a joke
for good reason too. We didn't deserve a seed,
right?
But we certainly weren't fourth in the world either. I don't even know how that was possible.
Right.
I mean, 2002 success, and then we probably had like a Gold Cup in there, finished top of the qualifiers or something. I don't know.
I think we still got put in pot two, if I remember right.
I would wager that make more sense at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
all right. Next. Okay, the Federation of Italiana has met with Pep Guardiola to convince him to take over as national team head coach, according to Sky in Italy. Well, who you can trust about as far as you can throw. Okay, and just because they reached out to his agent doesn't mean jack shit. And if he took that job, I think he would regret it.
Yeah, what if they don't qualify for a fourth time? I mean, how's that going to work for your? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure he'd come off of that with still plenty of clubs interested in him and everything like that. But I mean, that can't be a good thing to go to.
They got to qualify next time, Brett. There's 64 teams.
There's 64 teams. Yeah, we'll talk about that later this week, of course. But
they can't qualify now. They got real issues.
They got a couple more playoff spots, and then all of a sudden they still don't qualify. That'd be a shamble.
It would be shambolic.
And I've always liked Italy.
I like their food.
Yeah, who doesn't like their food?
In my family, we do refer to them as the spaghetti fresses.
That's fair. Why not?
Yeah. Well, Germans do have their nicknames for Italians. All right. They're really racist, because Italians aren't white. You know what I mean? Whatever. Okay. Okay. What else we got next?
Well, I just found another thing I want to pull up later. So I'll move that over there.
Okay. I'm ready for New Zealand and Tahiti, says Star Wars Satan. Well, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. I may not be maybe Vanuatu instead of Tahiti or Fiji, but you're getting one of those along with New Zealand in the next World Cup.
How's that?
Yeah. Yes, Fresser is a little hardcore in the sense it's like a big overeater. It's kind of how I would frame that in German, or a pig, or not literally a pig, but like somebody who overindulges. Yeah. All right. Joseph Lowry says MLS had 8 years to prep for the World Cup. Rocket fuel, but where is the rocket? A bizarrely timed calendar shift, no big roster rule reform, and no ad presence on World Cup games paints a picture. MLS missed its World Cup moment. They certainly did. They had no commercials on. You could have had a commercial that you had set up for certain games with MLS players in them, and you could have made a big deal that they were there. DePaul, Messi, there were a ton of players in this World Cup who got like thousands of minutes. You could have found a way to brag that up a little bit on MLS, but
Matthew Doyle to the rescue.
Of course, Matthew Doyle's to the rescue. Huge, measurable progress, not bad. I mean, I don't know if you could really determine huge progress based on these numbers alone. I don't know if it speaks to the whole story. I think there's a better way to show that. There might be a better way to show that. But I can guarantee you the Egyptian Premier League is not the 7th best league in the world. It just is not.
Derek, we had just shy of 1,600 minutes in the knockout stage. Clearly, they must be.
Well, and then you got the Saudi Premier Leagues in there too, baby. Pro League.
That couldn't be that most of Egypt's players play in the Egyptian league, right?
Right. Exactly. So here's the problem with putting out a list like this, Doyle. When you do it, and it also includes Egypt's Premier League and Saudi Pro League, you're kind of already shitting on your own list. Okay? So you need to create a list that shows something else, like number of minutes per team that MLS players played. Because there weren't a whole lot for the U.S. team. They didn't play a whole lot of minutes outside of one game, right? So you could have still had a pretty good number there. I don't know if it would have been 5th or 6th. Probably would have been a lot lower than that. But MLS players on other countries did have time. They played, So you could have figured out a different statistical way of making MLS look better. This one falls flat for me.
Just a number of players that are playing within the league for other teams.
Yeah, total number of players who saw minutes in the World Cup that play in MLS. There you go.
Star Wars Satan wants to know, where's Holland? Holland isn't there because nobody on the Netherlands team actually plays in Holland.
There are not a whole lot of players
for the most part.
They play. Yeah, a lot of Dutch players don't play in Holland anymore. Not the best ones. They play other places. And are there a lot of other players from around the world that play in Holland? Yeah, I'm sure the number wasn't horrible. I'm sure they would have been on the list somewhere. But this is just not the kind of thing that's convincing. This kind of list here that Doyle made.
Brazil, Belgium, Holland, all the teams, again, none of which, very few of which probably actually play for those leagues. So that's the reason why, guys. I mean, that's why we talked about, we mentioned Egypt. We mentioned MLS. I mean, you had Canada. You had some of the players from MLS on US. Mind you, I think only Seb really got minutes there in the knockout stage. I know it's a knockout stage, so there may have been a couple others on against Bosnia, but still, I mean, there's a reason why, like, MLS is number 6. Look. No, we had CONCACAF teams in knockout. In the knockout, we had 3 CONCACAF teams in knockout. Mind you, Mexico, bad example for Major League Soccer.
Almost no MLS players on the Mexican team. In fact, 0, I think.
But yeah, so I mean, you still had two CONCACAF teams. Plus, there were a couple of stragglers and other teams that were probably still in the knockout at that point. But I mean, it's not. This is misleading, to say the least.
Yes, this is a misleading statistical list. There are other ways to make your point, Matt, that wouldn't have been shit on right after you listed Major League Soccer at 6. The Egyptian Premier League is listed 7th. No one believes that.
Yeah.
That means the Egyptian Premier League is suddenly the 7th best league in the world.
I mean, at the very minimum, you just talk about it being a positive. Say, hey, look, MLS had the 6th most minutes in the knockout stages. Just simply say that. Don't have to say, the 6th best league. No, fuck that.
A lot of those minutes were Messi and DePaul, weren't they?
Right? Yeah, exactly.
90
Yeah.
over and over again. Or
Ding, ding, ding.
one case for DePaul, not 90, but that's okay. All right. Doyle blocks everyone on Twitter like a bitch. Well, he's a bit of a troll, which would make you think he wouldn't be a blocker. Trolls tend to not be blockers. Like Lawless is a troll, or was. He's less of a troll now. But when he was, he didn't block anybody. He didn't block anybody. So if you're going to be a troll, which Doyle, I think he would have to admit he is on a lot of occasions, you don't block people. You just don't. You just live with the fact that if you're going to troll people, you're going to get some negative responses.
And I feel like Doyle does. I mean, he trolls in the end by doing it, but I think it's more him just selling his brand, which is MLS.
Well, he's hired by them.
Yeah. So he sells it, and people are like, "Dude, no, you're wrong." But I mean, he's just selling his brand.
Yeah,
I mean, if he wasn't employed by MLS, I'm sure he wouldn't fluff him as much as he does.
He's working. Okay. Well, he's working. All right. For the 135 of you here, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma. It really does help us out. If you're not subscribed by now, please do. And liking it will make sure other people watch it later, because a lot of people can't watch our show on Mondays. They're on the East Coast. Or West Coast. They're still working at this time of day. Unbelievably, they are. And some people work late. So anyhow, what else we got?
Talk a little bit about the Apple TV deal. How important is it that MLS is going to be easier and more accessible to watch?
Well, it's great to have our games in front of 70 plus million homes, right? We love our partnership with Apple. Our ratings have gone up 69% since we've been on Apple TV, as opposed to having the subscription of MLS Season Pass.
Yeah, bingo.
What?
Bingo.
You don't say.
Hey, dumbass. asking people to subscribe to Apple and then have an extra subscription to watch fucking MLS was a stupid idea from the start. Everyone knew that was stupid, and you still did it.
Yeah, Derek, it's nice to have our teams in front in households of upwards of 70 million households, and our viewership up 69% compared to when we were requiring them to spend an extra $15 a month. What?
Well, 50 million of those households did not subscribe to Apple for MLS. I can tell you that.
And how much of those 70 million are getting Apple through a carrier instead?
Yep. So, yeah, now that the paywalls come down, if you already get Apple TV, because you get an iPhone, you get Apple TV. Free, I believe, if you buy an iPhone. So, yeah, there's a lot of viewers out there you can start fishing for, but you did no fishing during the World Cup at all. And you didn't change you didn't raise the salary cap during the World Cup. So after you could sign some big players, or during it, you could start talking about signing big players. You didn't raise the salary cap. So what have you done? What has MLS done to build MLS in the last 2 years leading up to the World Cup? Nothing is the answer. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Unless you can't just say Messi, okay? And DePaul and Inter Miami. That can't be your only answer. There need to be more answers than that. Way more.
Oh, click the wrong button. Hang on. And things popping up on my computer right now because I clicked the wrong button. So Don Garber says, the U.S. soccer and other stakeholders need to align the developing of players. Says the pay-to-play model doesn't work, and that MLS Next and the academies will be a part of the solution.
Well, apparently they're going to end pay-to-play in all MLS academies. You will.
MLS Next across the board is free, but yes, their academy system, which branches all the way down to U8s, is not necessarily free now.
Not necessarily is the good word to use.
Some clubs are 100% from U8s all the way up.
I believe New York is free U8 up.
Chicago, I think
Dallas.
I'm pretty sure Philly
is U8 all the way up free.
You can gauge it by the players that are coming through the woodwork.
Mm-hmm.
As far as which ones are, you're not going to see many come through the New England at that point.
But even DC United, we know the academy system was not free because Barron Trump was on DC United's academy system, and it was paid for. He was not. It was not free.
Gangly looking Peter Crouch motherfucker.
He's really
nothing against the kid or anything like that. I'm just
I don't know.
Remember when we had that video pulled up and we watched it? It was like, oh my god.
He looks like he's a foot taller than every other player on the pitch. Yeah. But anyhow, point being, now all of those U8 programs, and by the way, that should be the starting. So Minnesota United should be forced to have a U8 program, like every MLS academy. That's where it should start, and it should all be free from U8 on up. And I don't know if they're talking about, because we've heard the same thing from U.S. Soccer as well. Pay to place ending. Does that mean for USL? Does that mean for NISA? Does that mean for all the, Division 2, 3, 4, and 5 clubs too? Are all those going to have to be free too? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out.
Well, I mean, hell, USL doesn't have academies across the board. I mean, they don't have, there are teams, a lot of teams out there just simply don't have an academy system.
They don't have one at all, right?
So
this is going to be a requirement in U.S. soccer. It'll be a new rule for all, let's say the first top 3 divisions all have to have free academies. That would be a start if U.S. soccer mandated that. Now, there'd be a lot of USL owners who'd be like, well, then I'm out. I'm shutting down shop. I'm out of here. Because I ain't doing that. I ain't investing millions of dollars in a youth academy. You don't have to. It shouldn't take $1 million.
You already got the fields in the complex. I mean, at that point, I mean,
not all of them do.
They don't have to be robust systems either, quite
You
frankly.
just use a local high school soccer field, I suppose.
I pay a couple coaches, run a couple teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that would be a start for certain if all pro teams in the first 3 divisions had to have free academies. We'll start there. All right.
Edge Sports says Brentford doesn't have a youth program.
Well, eventually that will probably come back and bite them in the ass, honestly.
They're going to be a buying team, huh?
They're not the only English club in England that don't have a youth academy. There are others.
That seems strange for a team like Brentford in that sense.
It sure does.
They're not, it's not like they're banking full of money. You'd imagine that they'd rely more on their youth.
Maybe they just looked around Brentford and said, nah, just a bunch of toothless motherfuckers around here with no talent. We're not starting an academy around here. Could be. There could be other smaller clubs in Brentford that feed into them. Who knows? All right. The World Cup hangover. This AM is real. What a ride. Let's keep this momentum going. Get out and support your local clubs. I'm sorry, I'm doing my best to. Expose your friends to it. Invest in youth soccer. Push for more places to play. You name it. Those that came into the tent are welcome to stay.
No offense intended either. So,
yes, okay. I'm all for that statement. Stu, my mom hates listening to you. And when she found out you were calling the finals, oh, she was ready to just mute the TV and watch it silently. I convinced her not to. And we end up listening to you and John Strong. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Stu, instead of being a partial owner of some random Spanish club, maybe bring that money back home.
Yeah, what is the deal with you being invested in Mallorca? And Mallorca never, ever, ever standing up for Mr. Hoppy, man. You didn't help him at all while he was there. Maybe he didn't help himself. All right. Maybe
what a weird place to randomly just become a part owner of either. I don't understand it.
I don't get it either. I don't know. You throw a dart at a map. Be hard to hit Mallorca, by the way. You threw a dart at a world map. All right.
Yeah. So this is kind of catapulting us into that youth development, the system. Like the video we had last week, we talked about it. It's going upwards of about 1,000 views right now. It's actually doing pretty good for us analytically. Not one of our big hitters as far as our recorded shows, but I think it's evergreen. It'll be out there forever. But this kind of takes us into the talking point.
By the way, before you do that, Larry has a post. Big black cock was amazing.
Yeah, well,
good for you, Larry.
Hey, yeah.
I'm just not capable of taking big black cock, but you do what you do.
Like
all right.
Off an elephant, right?
If you do go to college soccer, it's basically a desert. All right, here we go.
And some clubs say, hey, we have MLS Next, so we're the best club. And some club will say, well, we have MLS Next too. And another one will say, well, we're an NAL and we're an ECNL and we play the best teams in the country. And so you have all these different leagues arguing why we're the right pathway.
Yeah.
Cool. We talked about that.
Yeah, we did. I mean, there are all these pathways. And I fucking hate that word. Pathways. We want to create a pathway for youth soccer players. Shut up with your pathway. Just give them they don't need a pathway. There's no such thing as a clear pathway. Okay? There's steps. And by the way, it can go backwards and then forward and then forward and then backwards again and then forward. It's no clear pathway for anybody. So I hate that fucking term. But there should be definitely options for your development, and you can kind of decide which way you want to go. Maybe MLS Academy is not right for you. Maybe college is. I think that's probably not true, but
in its current settings, probably not.
But if you don't want to sign for MLS, USL makes more sense for you as a player. Okay? So you sign with the USL club. You don't have to sign your fucking life away to do it.
I got rid of a couple of MLS topics there. One of them was a guy from and I don't know the guy's name. How was that?
I just threw my bottle in the garbage from here.
I missed. Talking.
I missed.
No, so but there's a guy from the Union who hasn't reported back to the Union yet because he's wanting a move this summer and he's pissed that the Union aren't willing to sell him. They've declined a couple of bids already.
Well, he's kind of a bit of a dumbass though, Brett, because very clearly and his agent should have known that in the document he signed. Even if they verbally said, well, yeah, I mean, if a great deal comes along, we'll get rid of you. We'll let you sign. Well, that's horseshit. There's nothing in your actual contract. So I get why he's not coming back. But to pretend that he didn't already know that is naive as fucking hell. Very naive.
Well, so the Union came out and said, yeah, we've rejected a couple of bids. And if a bid that comes that matches our ideal of his valuation, we'll sell him. And that's the big question mark. You're talking about USLs being an option. There have been a number of US youth players that have decided to go and play in USL for a season until they turned 18 and then get sold for like $1 million or whatever, 700,000, whatever it is. Whereas, this guy was like, maybe he has ambitions to play in Europe and he's getting some offers. But the Union are saying, hey, the $1.25 million that this club's offering for you, not what we value at. We get more value out of you being on the pitch with us, blah, blah. That's not even going to pay what we paid your previous club, Yeah. So, but he's sitting there going like, well, you said you'd sell me. I'm like, well, we will. Just, when there's a worthwhile opportunity here.
Oh, by the way, somebody else just said Brentford does have an academy. Started in 2023.
There we go.
Don't be feeding us bullshit information on here. We're not Brentford. We're not Brentford experts. We believe you guys when you tell us Brentford doesn't have an academy, and then somebody else is like, no, they do since 2023. Thank you for correcting that. If I don't even know which one's right or wrong, I would generally think
I'm going to go with the newest information.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
That's provided. Now, if somebody comes back and says that's false, they don't have it, I'll believe them.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't Icestone at Brentford Academy? Good fucking point, Star Wars Staten. I forgot all about that.
Academy or U21s?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
U21's still in part of the academy program.
Part of the academy, and just that's their quote unquote 2 team, if you will.
Everything underneath the big boy team is a part of the overall academy system.
In that case, you guys owe me $100 each.
Well, fuck. All right. What else you got?
Real quick, just to go off what he was saying, what Chuck was saying there. Mm-hmm. The with the different level of hey, we have ENCL, we've got MLS Next. Yeah, we have those 2 options. He mentioned MLS Next 2 or whatever, the basically the the academy version of it, not necessarily the free one. But you mentioned those, but the big issue is not necessarily am I playing for this team or this league, because they all end up playing each other in the major tournaments that get scouted anyways. The problem is if you're not in those 2 leagues, you're not getting scouted by the professional teams or by colleges for that matter.
Yeah.
And if college, I mean, some people are like, oh, you don't want to go to play at college. That might be the peak for most people, quite frankly.
Yes.
But they're not going to get scouted unless they're in those top 2 leagues.
Right. It's too exclusive still.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we have had these players come through our system or these players, and ultimately they all get funneled into either they make an MLS club academy or they go to college soccer. And we all know right now, if you go to college soccer, it's basically a desert. It's a cemetery.
They go on to talking about how back in the day when they were kids and they were in college and stuff like that, when they got done playing with their team, during the summer they can go and they can play from spring to summertime basically with the PDL sides, get like 11 games in before the season would start up again. So there's more opportunities, whereas that's not really an opportunity now. There's no longer a PDL team teams as far as I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But and the current situation is an issue. You have something upwards of around 30 games within a 3-month period. Counting the playoffs going into the final tournament or whatever. But it's a system that has to change, and I know that there are people behind the scenes that are working to make a change there. Yeah. And if they do get that change where they can make it a 10-month season, that would be ideal. 1 game a week. You have practices and all the cool downs and all the training and set. You don't have like a game on Tuesday, then a game on Thursday, and a game on Sunday. Traveling to Michigan, to Oregon, back here to Indy. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we'll see how that evolves. I know that that's the plan, and to make a promotion and relegation system was one of the things that was thrown about as well within college soccer. So we'll see. Jimmy,
actually, we don't need spatial awareness. We don't really need. He was basically talking about when he's coaching teams. He doesn't have the time to talk about the spatial awareness. They say that a professional player in any given game really only touches the ball for about 2 minutes out of the entire game or something like that. Depends on the team you're with, I guess. But
sure.
But I mean, he's like, you don't have time to really coach it. Well, I mean, at some point, the development process has to happen outside of practice too. You have to be able, these kids have to be able to learn how to control the ball and how to pass the ball and stuff like that without the coaches spending an hour a day doing that. And there has to be time for them to teach that extra bit, the time that you're off the ball without being in an actual game itself.
I mean, I don't know how hard that is. I know what my coach did when I played. We'd be playing, right? 11 on 11. And he'd blow the whistle, and you had to stop. Whatever you're doing, you had to stop. And then he'd go, where should you be right now? We just stopped to play. Everyone's been frozen in time. Why are you here? Why are you standing here? You were in the wrong place. You need to be where? Where do you need to be? Coach, I think I need to be right about there. Yeah, then why aren't you there? That's exactly where you should be. Like, we went over that. We talked about spatial awareness, right? Depending on where the ball is on the field and our formation. Where does the formation need to look like this particular time? Now, that seems a little robotic, but when you're playing a formation, it's good to generally know where you need to be to help your teammates. So you can do that. I don't know why he can't do that, but
well, and at some point, obviously being on the pitch and doing the stuff is going to be massive, but I feel like you could also do some of that digitally.
Oh yeah,
have digital videos, but videos of basically showing right digital the analog videos. No, but I mean, like you have the videos that you'd be able, break it down like you would any form of analytical thing. Hey, Pete does that on his Patreon stuff.
Yeah.
Why can't coaches just say, hey, here's your assignment. Go home, watch this video, and then if you don't perform on the field the way I want you to, you're coming off.
Yeah, absolutely. Julian Vivas says for $4.99. Hello, Julian. Greetings from Lehigh, Utah. Yeah. I think Poach is waiting to see if a club calls him before making a decision. I don't know if that's the case, so we're going to find out soon. Might have to do a special show on that when it's officially the news breaks.
I'm certain there's a part of them that's waiting for offers to come in. I mean, how hard would the conversation, if you really wanted to come back, how long would that conversation really be?
There are no big clubs looking for a manager right now, though.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. That's why I'm saying he's like, there'll be an answer within the week or whatever. But I mean, why even have that answer within the week unless you're waiting for some communication between some other party and saying, hey, hey Barcelona, I'm like, hey, cool, I'd like to come and coach, but
I don't think that's going to happen because there are no big clubs that I think he would go coach out right now because they're not open. Did we talk about at all Pulisic trying to force his way out of AC Milan to New York City FC?
I didn't know. I know there was the interest. I didn't know that Pulisic's trying to force his way to NYFC.
All the rumors are he wants out of AC Milan. He does not want to play there. And that That's the rumors. I mean, it's coming out of Italian media, so it's hard to swallow. But
just not wanting to stay at AC Milan doesn't mean I want to go to NYCFC.
No, that's all the rumors are. That's where he wants to go. Yes, home. He wants to come home. Just saying.
He can get his payday, have one more cycle under his belt, I guess.
So we'll see what really happens. AC Milan are saying, no, we're not letting him go. And the new coach, I can't believe they signed that guy after what he just fucking did in England. But okay, that's a guy with one playing style, that manager. One playing style. That's it. Doesn't have any other ways to play, apparently. I mean, I don't know. That might work for Pulisic, the way he sets up. It could be okay. But he wants to keep Pulisic, and so does AC Milan. So we'll see what happens there.
Well, Pulisic will suck it up. I'm sure if he does one out, he'll suck it up.
Yeah, Amaron will ruin CP. It's possible that could happen. He certainly didn't. He certainly ruined his club in England, didn't he? I mean, that was a really shitty job. Barcelona 2170 says for $5, thank you, my brother, a former college player. As a former college player, it's dead. I regret it. Also couldn't afford the academies that were available when I played. Wish I were that age now. Yeah, a lot more opportunities now, for sure. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Different pathways. There are lots of different pathways now.
Couldn't afford the academies were available when I played. Shows that age now. I mean, there are the scholarships you can get at some of the academies and stuff like that. If you're good enough, they'll find a way to get you on the team.
Who knows what would have happened to you or I if things were the way they are now? It's really hard to say.
Yeah, well, geez, I feel like scouting even back in my day was horseshit as a general.
Oh yeah, it was totally horseshit.
And I mean, I always talk about. I mean, I always talk about like if I could go back and while I was at IU, I would have at least tried out, would have at least worked to try to get to the practice team, even as a minimum or whatever. It would have been a lot more. Would have been cool to do now in hindsight.
Dude,
obviously at the time I was burnt out. I didn't want to play any competitive soccer at that point. But I don't know, coming off that high of high school, I mean, I feel like could have done something there. I don't know if I necessarily would have cracked the team.
1986, Chad McGowan, lead scorer in all of Kentucky on our team. Led the whole fucking state in scoring as our center forward. Not a single offer.
Dude, I got one offer of interest. Wasn't much of an offer, but I got an offer.
15 years later, yeah.
I mentioned this before because I know Berlin was familiar with this college. I think he actually went there. But there was I forgot the college name now. Earlham in Richmond.
Yes, Earlham College.
And the only reason I got scouted by there is because the coach of the Richmond high school team, who we faced my junior and senior year, basically said, "Hey, you need to come and take a look at this kid."
Yeah, but unfortunately, you'd already decided to go to IU.
It was a small private school in Richmond. I was like, "No, I got accepted to IU." I was like, "No, I'm just going to go to IU."
Yeah, it's more parties there. But yeah, we're talking about with Chad McGowan, 86. There was no route, and he did end up playing college soccer at Shippensburg in fucking Pennsylvania. But he had to walk on to do it. That's fucking crazy. Did he walk on and play? He absolutely walked on and played. But there was no route. Route. Yeah.
Real quick, Barcelona says most college teams, from my experience and friends that went, is the coaching. There is talent there, but the coaches are either outdated or dogmatic. Maybe both at times.
Yeah,
could find that.
Yep, there is truth.
Hey, this system's worked for us for 20 years. We're going to continue doing it. 20 years.
And you know what? We're going to pass down coaching from
father to son.
Father to son. Let's do that. How many times has that happened in Division I soccer, including IU?
I was going to say I can at least think of IU.
Yep. Well, there's IU and there's more. Trust me.
Sure, I don't doubt that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Are we done with this yet? Or are we just, what's this, the same clip?
Oh, I'm muted. Well, it's the same, different clip, but same show, same episode.
Oh, okay.
But now it's Benny's turn.
Benny's
gonna
on
chime in.
Benny and the Jets.
First, I don't think that there's any one specific point
About
that is going to
fixing youth
solve all the
soccer
problems.
development.
I think talent ID is a huge part of it, right?
Good
Us
luck.
having the ability to
Yeah.
recognize who's good, who we need to push in certain areas. I think coaching.
That's a big concern too, because when you're focused, especially at the younger ages, as far as winning and less on development, you're focused on those kids who are hyper athletic early on, and some of them might pan out to be solid enough, but you lose out on the players that that weren't athletic at a younger age, but they had a sight for the game. They understood it. They knew where they had to be, but maybe their body just wasn't registering it yet.
Well,
But it took time for it at that point. But
Is a huge-
when you're
they didn't have hair on their balls yet.
that's true. When you have academy systems in Europe and other countries and stuff like that, where they have larger, groups of kids that are being scouted at larger numbers because of the number of teams, you have that opportunity to have time to grow into it. Everybody's so lucky here.
Yep.
Huge element as well, right? We need better coaches at every level, knowing what a curriculum should look like, right? The technical aspect of the game, I think, always needs to come first. Passing, trapping, like what you're talking about, Charlie. Beyond all that, and I think there's also the aspect that we're starting to get better at, which is providing opportunities for kids to just go out and play, right? Having futsal courts all over the country. Hopefully, more and more are kind of sprouting up here and there. We talked about some in the East Coast. I've seen some in Kansas City, and I think that's getting better. The number one aspect, which isn't necessarily how you improve it, but you have to align from top to bottom. And until we all align from all the way to the full national team to all the way down to grassroots U5,
no way.
Development
That
is
is
at a premium, and it can still be capitalistic.
It's borderline at this point, borderline impossible.
Can you imagine the bureaucracy necessary for that to actually happen in a country of this size?
It'd be a level of growth and development as far as pathways up to the higher levels, well, without necessarily being, just say, hey, you go to trial for this team, you have to pay X amount of money. But it'd be like, hey, if you're grassroots, you're at this point, here's our system, regional, except for you don't have to worry about regional because they're not going to go anywhere to play. But then the next step up, have regional slots. It's like the Midwest. You never really venture outside the Midwest until it's tournament time, and maybe it's only the top teams who've won in the Midwest move on to play top teams elsewhere and go from there. But it would require. You're right. It would require a lot of heads to run.
And then we'd have to decide what way we want to play, and then everybody's going to have to play like that. Like people that play in California don't play like they play in New Jersey. They're different. They don't play the same.
I don't think he's necessarily talking about the style of play. I think he's talking about just organizing the systems where, hey, there's a grassroots program, and then there's a let's say there's a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, all the way up to MLS Next Pro, all the way up to so forth. So it's like you have a pathway as far as how to progress forward and upwards as a nation, rather than such a static, hey, this is our league, this is your league, we're over here, you're over here, you're not invited because you don't qualify for this. It's again, as he mentions in this clip, the youth development is the wild, wild west.
Yeah, it's also ginormous.
Huge.
Good luck setting up that system. That's going to cost a lot of fucking money because you got to keep track of shit. That's how that works. But I think there's an easier way to do it than that. But that seems really, really hard. There might be an easier way to do it. And that's with some sort of self-governance. And then
open period.
Self-governance up to a point, yes. And then, because here's what honestly happens. And this happens I'm going to use public schools. So in Indiana, public schools were really, really good. They were really awesome until we did consolidate them. So every small little town, every small little city had their own high school. And then at some point I'll use Chicago. It's even a better example. Chicago schools used to be fairly independent in the 40s, 50s, 60s. Then we created this fucking thing called Chicago Public Schools. And everyone fell under that umbrella. And what happened after that? Well, what happened was the connection between the superintendent of schools, the Chicago Public Schools, and the frontline teacher became the distance between them. The frontline teacher at a school in one of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of schools in Chicago Public Schools, that became the distance between those two things became so far apart that the superintendent and the administrators running the district had no idea what was going on a daily basis in a classroom, and thus had no real connection with what was going down on the bottom line. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. That kind of pyramid, because to me those gigantic pyramids lead to dissonance, and they lead to distance, and they lead to a lack of connection. So I would rather have more independent villages, if you will, if we want to use a metaphor, run themselves and be independent, and at some point each of those independent villages have to compete against other independent villages until we find out who's good at what. And the better ones move on, they win the championships, and that's when we start to take notice of who those players are within those villages. I'm not sure what always happens in a massive bureaucracy like Chicago Public Schools is people get lost in it. The best teachers get lost in it. The best students get lost in it. So, and by the way, the bureaucracy is so inefficient and ineffective. What you get is worse teaching, worse schools, worse education. So we don't want that. I don't know if a gigantic bureaucracy is the answer. I don't know anybody alive that's created a gigantic bureaucracy and done better than what the locals can do. What you do is you empower locals. I think that's what you do. It's just a theory. But I saw it in the public school system as a consultant for public schools for 15 years. As the districts got bigger, the less power the average teacher had to make change. It's sad.
It'd be interesting if, I don't know if I'm sure there's a legality issue as far as what they do, but it'd be interesting to see if let's say colleges went to a 10-month system, if a college team could invest in a youth club and like basically work to develop their own players all the way up until they get to the colleges. So like Bloomington could invest in the Cutters.
Yeah.
And they could have their coaches there training them and saying, this is how we want to play at IU. Not saying you're going to make it, but this is a good, easy pathway for us to be able to scout our own players and have a proper develop going into it. I don't know if there's legality issue as far as colleges paying youth development systems or not, but at least if colleges were able to do that, how many colleges are there? That's probably the easiest way to go for the system like you have in Europe with all, like in England where there's like 9 different divisions. You have top 4 or 5 leagues have academy teams and they're all over the place. Same kind of concept. You'd have 100 colleges plus or whatever, all have their own youth development system.
I think that's a great idea, except because it would be really cool for there to be an IU youth academy camp every summer for 3 months, right? For the best players in Monroe County. That'd be a really cool idea. But we know, and you know, because we both been in Bloomington, that IU doesn't give 2 fucks about investing in Monroe County or the local community. They don't care because they have, as far as they're concerned, they've already done enough by providing jobs.
Yeah, they're the only thing holding Bloomington up still. Yeah.
Right. By the way, we missed a quote from Berliner there somewhere, right? There was a criticism.
Yeah, real quick though, God Kong Snake says, it's funny how when you graduate, you're shaking hands with people you've never seen in your life.
Yeah,
exactly. That goes back to your argument as far as consolidation.
Yep.
This one?
Shame yourself as a German speaking poorly about bureaucracy. Brauocracy. Is that anything like bratwurst or brew, beer? Anyhow, no, bureaucracy. I'm not going to get into the history of that. I'm not getting in there. I could talk about that all day, but anyhow, I'm not going to do it here. All right. Beer, yes, Berliner. I do know my bureaucracy for sure.
Well, let's move on.
All right.
Transfer news, transfer news. Who's getting mounted on transfer news? Who's getting over on transfer news? Transfer news. Everyone loves that transfer news, but me. Whatever.
Anthony Robinson is reportedly on Manchester United summer short list, according to The Guardian. The U.S. men's national team left back could be brought in to compete with Luke Shaw. This could be a major opportunity. Whatever. Go ahead, but I mean, it's not a step up.
This isn't I feel like this is news. I think between Liverpool and Man United, I think those have been the two teams, and one random Pep quote or whatever about Man City and Jedi, but I think it's basically been Liverpool and Man United, for a couple years now.
Yeah, as a Fulham fan, I think this whole idea sucks, frankly. But hey, if you want to go to Man United, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. I just don't believe these reports. Frankly, this guy has had a history of injuries now, 26, 27, and he'll be 28 by the time he gets there probably or somewhere near it. He's been injured for almost 2 years straight, off and on. You're Man United, that's what you want to invest in? I don't know about that.
I thought the year before, this year, yes, he was injured for at least half of it, but I thought the year prior to this was his breakout year, this massive year. The one
he did have a good year.
Really was a standout that really had everybody's eyes on him.
But the Spigo's right. It's more than likely that he just stays at Fulham. I mean, he's at the real end of what would be a true left back's career here. 28, 20. What's he got? 3 more good years left in him?
Might start transitioning over to a mobile left back or left center back.
Yeah, or just a center back, period. He's 6 foot. That's, we saw
my point of being just a left-sided center back, basically, is what I was saying. Not saying a left center back. And a third
then he'd have to play for a team that plays 3 in the back.
Well, no, I'm just saying generally speaking, there are 2 center backs. One's usually on the right, one's usually on the left, and then they have the back.
So left center back.
On the left side of the center backs.
Okay. At that point, you just call them center backs. Fuck it. It's, 10-yard difference. All right.
How often have we seen Ream play on the right-hand side?
Oh, that's true. Slonina is currently training at Strasbourg. We need a goalkeeper. Unfortunately, they just got slaughtered today.
Oh, you saw the news.
Yeah. They got slaughtered 7-0.
With Slonina conceding 5 of them in the second half. Apparently. Taking Chelsea Lone Army's word as gospel here.
They play Sporting? It was a Portuguese team.
Yeah.
Was it?
Sporting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds to me maybe that Strasbourg threw out a completely second team in that second half with Slonina in goal. And clearly the team shit the bed as a whole.
No,
I'm not saying that Slonina didn't shit the bed because 5 goals sucks.
I'm sure the whole second team came out for the second half.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So they got slaughtered, right?
Not a getting slaughtered with 5 goals. That's not a great look, even if you stood on your head.
Yes,
but I'm not saying he did.
At least he's in a nice area, Alsace-Lorraine. I know it says Strasbourg, Alsace, but the whole region was once called Alsace-Lorraine. It's very nice. It's where your Lorraine cheese comes from, Brett. Lorraine Swiss.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wait,
okay.
Swiss cheese comes from France?
Well, in this case, Lorraine cheese comes from the Alsace-Lorraine area. Yes. Strasbourg. Sunderland have reportedly spoken with Florian Balogun's camp as interest grows. Kind of like the World Cup trophy statue. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of going to Sunderland. Where'd they finish last year? Do we know?
I'll look up real quick.
Let's look it up real quick. It would be better than other things. I wouldn't go to Tottenham. They barely stayed out of.
They finished 7th. They're in Europa.
All right, maybe that's not a bad idea, but they had some good players on that team. PSG. Are we serious? He's not going to PSG, people. He's not going to Madrid, Atletico Madrid. He's Nottingham Forest, maybe. Everton, I don't know why you'd want to go there. No offense. Leeds, really? They're going to be fighting for survival again.
Yeah.
Hey, yes, come to Fulham. I'll take it.
There was a lot of talk with Juventus. I'm not sure if it's legit or not, but I mean, there's a lot of talk on the twits going around.
Is that where we really want him and David going at it all season?
Yeah. That's what they were talking about basically.
I will guarantee you that Balogun will beat out David for that spot.
Yeah.
Not that David's a bad player, but David's all up in his own head. Balogun doesn't seem to have that problem.
Mm-hmm.
He does not get up in his own head.
Bardon Bully says, I mean, he scored 5 on PSG.
I suppose it's possible. I just don't know if that's where I want to go. I want to go where I know I'm going to play.
Star Wars Satan saying that David's leaving Juve.
There were rumors about that.
I haven't heard that yet.
Haven't seen any evidence of it, though. I need evidence. So.
Ballot to Dortmund.
Fuck Dortmund at this point. I'm so sick of Dortmund.
It'd be an interesting team for his style, though. I mean, given their history, at least, of how they used to play.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the current squad, but I mean, historically speaking, having watched them play.
I mean, you are on one of the best teams in France. So wherever you go, you want to make sure it's not a downgrade. So that's all I'm saying. Do not go backwards.
Yep.
AC Milan offered Yunus Musa to Lazio. Oh, my God. Come on. That is not fucking happening. Lazio is considering a loan with purchase clause of $18 million. Give me a break. He just came off a season where he barely fucking played. You're going to go to Lazio where you're also going to struggle to get any time or minutes? Why would you do that? Your agent has to be absolutely stupid and out of his mind.
But then against Stars and Stripes, but I see absolutely no actual source.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like a bunch of horse shit.
I'm sure there's source and there are people saying it, or maybe he's heard something on the grapevine or whatever. But
Star Wars Satan makes a great point. Moose is only worth $5 million. 18 million, my ass. And even if Lazio isn't that good, how good was he where he just was on loan? Musa, not very good at all. Yes, exactly, Tony. He has some serious confidence problems. So if he wants to go play in Italy, you better pick a team where he knows he's playing, because he needs to play. Period. End of story. I'm not going to one of the historically best Italian teams at this point after what just happened last season, where I was so poor and barely played so much that the coach just ignored him completely.
Well, yeah. I mean, it'd be one of those things, I guess, if he was playing at Atalanta and doing well, and coach would have had to make a decision at that point. But I feel like after the Gold Cup debacle, him not playing at all for Atalanta is pretty safe to assume. Or playing consistently, let's just say. I mean, his market value right now is currently sitting at $14 million. I understand market value really is just what his actual market value is, what somebody's willing to pay for him. But I mean, do you think it was Lazio's choice to say purchase with an $18 million? Or with the purchase clause at $18 million? I feel like it'd be like hey, we'll cut you a deal
12.
here. We'll take it for 12. Yeah.
Yeah. And, here's a good idea. Go play with Bootsy out Venezia for a season. Take a loan there. Try to keep Venezia up. Prove a point. Be a starter. Be a star. Be not just a starter, but a star on the team. Yeah. And, by the way, grow a pair of balls. Quit being a nice guy. And go out there and fucking tackle somebody. All right? Let's get a little nastiness. That's a guy that needs a little nasty in him. He's too nice. He's a super. I know everybody says he's the superest, nicest guy ever. Well, he's super. It looks like he's really super nice on the pitch.
On the pitch, yeah. As say, being super nice on being a professional is not a great combo.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get some nastiness. All right, break some toes. Step on some toes.
Apparently, Celtic are interested in Matt Freese.
Who fucking cares? That's not an upgrade. That's a downgrade. There are only 3 teams in the Scottish League worth of shit. It's a downgrade. He'll be playing a bunch of fucking munchkins outside of playing Rangers, and it's usually either Hearts
Champions League, Derek.
Yeah, for like a couple games, and then they're going to be out of the championship.
Roughly 8. Is it 8 now? 6 or 8?
No, because they got to get through the qualifying rounds. They don't go straight into the group stage anymore.
Oh, do they not? Oh.
No. They're going to make it there. They're not making it. Celtic aren't making it into the group stage of the Champions League. Are we kidding ourselves? They suck.
Celtic playing in Champions League. Oh, let's just see if it's they already been listed. Imagine the season's got to be starting up here soon. Yeah. Schedule hasn't happened yet.
Not yet, but look.
First leg's August 18th, so I mean it's right around the corner.
Look at the teams Rangers lost to last season in the Champions League. It's laughable. Yeah. It's fucking laughable. This is not a step up. Fucking Scottish Premier League is not a step up from MLS anymore. And I don't know how long it's been since
it's questionable if the league itself was ever a step up, but
exactly
going to those 2 teams would have been a step up because
you got to play in Champions League, right?
And they always did well enough in the Champions League. Some seasons better than others, of course.
Well, sometimes they got
and sometimes they got curb stomped, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So no, this is not a step up from NYCFC. I don't even know why Celtic want him. What do they want him for?
Man, did you see that tweet that's been making the rounds of all the New York City FC fans coming out saying, "Oh, still our goalkeeper. We love you, Matt." All that stuff, giving them the heavy praise. And then Matt had come out and said that it was really disheartening to see all the comments after the World Cup. Dude, grow a pair, man. That's all I gotta say.
Like these gentle people we have. I mean, I just don't understand it. I really don't get it. It's disheartening. I would have never said that publicly.
I think he said it hurts my heart. I think is what he said, something along those lines.
Fuck it. That means he's tender. I would have said it's motivated me. I know I did. I know I made a big mistake, and I don't plan to ever, have a day like that ever again. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to be focused. I'm going to zero in even more than I have been. And I'm going to be the best goalkeeper I've ever been. And I know that's what I'm focused to do. I understand the criticism. I accept it. I played. I had a horrible day. And yes, I apologize. We all, the whole team, including me, did not live up to your expectations that day and our own expectations. So going forward, I'm going to double up. I'm going to work harder than I've ever worked before. Whatever. Yeah. Just don't be a pussy and say, "Well, I'm disheartened about, the criticism." Disheartened? Don't be disheartened, dude. Pussies are disheartened. You double up on yourself, man. You grow a pair and you go out and do something about it. Fucking A, man. Learn not to kick the ground when you're clearing a ball. I mean, kick the ball.
Where is it? Here. Nine Michael says it. Here's the thought: don't run past the 18 thinking you're Ronaldinho. I mean, I'm fine with him doing what he did as long as he just went out there and hoofed it. Just go out there and lay into it.
He choked.
I mean, he tried to bring it down. He was looking to distribute, play it out. But you know what? Again, you're 35 yards out of the goal. Just hoof the fuck out of it.
Hoof the fucking ball. Don't try to find a pass. Hoof it. You're in a very strenuous situation. Use your fucking brain. But what happens is he choked. His brain stopped working. He kicked the ground. Simple as that. We've all had a moment in life where we choked. Okay?
100%.
We've all done it. We just haven't done it in front of all these millions of people depending on you. So,
yeah.
So, you know, when you choke in front of your team, you apologize to your teammates and say, I fucked that up, guys. My bad. It ain't going to happen again. Not, you know what? Your criticism's really hurting me. I'm disheartened by it. That's not how you react. Why are we building such tender people? Why are people so tender now? Why are these players so tender? Take the fucking criticism like a man and speak for yourself. Apologize when you don't live up to your own standards and apologize to the fans. You don't have to beg for their mercy. Just say, listen, I'm sorry. I apologize. I did not live up to my own standards, and I know I didn't live up to yours. My focus is moving forward now. It's not that hard to say.
Yeah.
It's not a hard thing to say.
And say what you want, whether or not you rate him or don't rate him, whether you want to see him or don't want to see him on the national team ever again. That's your prerogative. However, when it comes to him, he's 28 years old. He has another potential World Cup opportunity ahead of him. As long as he continues to play better and improve and work on those things. Just come out and say, hey, I fucked up. You know, it wasn't my best moment. I feel awful about it. And then everybody would move on. Some people will still not rate you. Some people might still say some, you know, like you suck, you're awful, I don't want to see you on the pitch ever again, blah, blah, blah. And maybe even worse than that. But you can just ignore it and move on. And the vast majority of the fans would have been like, all right, cool. Well, not cool, but well, at least he fessed up to it, right? You know?
Yeah, exactly. And the other problem with this is you don't think Celtic fans watched the World Cup? You don't think they watched that and saw that? They don't want him either. I guarantee they want nothing to do with him. So he's going to come in at a fan deficit immediately. Everybody in Glasgow is going to be waiting for him to fuck up. Mm-hmm. They're going to be all holding their breath, and that's going to hover over his fucking head. You want to go do that? Because you fuck up like that in a Celtic Rangers game, you'll be lucky if your car's not on fire when you go leave. And I'm not even kidding. Ask Beasley about that. Okay? Car's going to be on fire. Not even a joke.
No.
They will boo him out faster than Nancy. Absolutely. There's another fucking arrogant, fucking stubborn motherfucker who took a job and didn't adjust. I don't even get into the rest of fucking morons that have done that.
Here's the final list that have been announced already. Kermashi is going to Parma. That's a permanent move.
I think that's a good move.
Paredes is going to Utrecht. That's a
good
move. Transfer.
I mean, it's a good move, but it's a really huge step backwards from the Bundesliga.
Yeah, but you need playing time.
He does.
Utrecht has been pretty solid for us.
True.
I mean, outside of injuries, of course. But then again, he may be the next. What's his face? I can't think of the Utrecht kid.
Aronson was there too.
Yeah, but the other kid that not Zach, but
Booth.
The Booth boy, yeah.
The Booth boys. Yeah.
Booth boy. Coaching's off to Lyngby.
We'll see how that goes. Cole Campbell, can he and Elversberg survive a Bundesliga season? Probably not. Especially.
Wait. Let's finish the thought. Sorry.
Probably not going to survive it. But and I think if Cole Campbell is your starting winger at Elversberg, you've got a real problem because he's not ready for prime time yet. Or maybe he is.
Sink or swim at that point, man.
Maybe he figured out, oh, okay, no, I'm not going to play hero ball. So we'll see. Brian Reynolds.
Hold on. Going back to Diego coaching.
Yeah.
It's a loan with option to buy. I can't believe that.
That's so crazy.
I can't believe that at all. I don't believe that. There's no
Mhm.
chance unless that option to buy is so outrageously high.
That Ligny couldn't afford it.
I couldn't even believe that being true. Here you have an 18, 19-year-old kid who was sitting on the bench as a third string for Barcelona. Never going to play, of course, but saying that he's played for some of the youth aspects. But an option to buy to go from La Liga to Denmark?
Yeah, I'm not buying that either.
What? No.
So either they value him so smallly and lowly because there is no way Lyngby has that kind of cash laying around to pay. So this is bad news if you're an American fan. That means that Barcelona don't think he has any chance of ever really being even a La Liga player for a lower Spanish team. That they're willing to drop his price so low that Lyngby can afford him after the loan.
Okay, here we go. According to the Google's, the permanent transfer clause is set at 1.5 million.
Oh my God!
Barcelona retains a 40% sell-on clause.
All right. Well, maybe that's the only saving grace.
Hoping that he banks heavy at
kills
Lyngby
it there, yeah,
and moves upwards to somewhere else for what? 10
million? 20 million, 10 million, they get 40% of that.
That's crazy.
But Jesus, if you really believe in this player, you're not doing that yet. He's too young to give up on and sell off for 40%. It's a high percentage, but still, that's insanity. That means you really don't have any belief in this kid. That's crazy, man. That is super crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian Reynolds.
A little strange, yeah. But go ahead.
To start Rana. Good luck, Brian Reynolds. I hope France is better for you than Belgium was, because it wasn't really that great.
Yeah. Here's another YouTube video you sent my way with no timestamps. So, do you have a timestamp for this?
No, I don't. Let's not play it.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, so we're jumping into we've talked about some of the youth players that are moving around. We talked about Gozo requesting a summer transfer. Well, I don't think he's going to get one at this point, especially, but maybe next summer, next winter, next summer, who knows? There are players on the move, as you would expect, because it is the summer silly season. But I guess let's touch base on where we're going to be going from here. I mean, Pete has a pretty decent breakdown here of the pathway for the U.S. men's national team. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Come on, zoom in. Ooh, too much now.
Mm-hmm. All right. The road to the 2030 World Cup starts here. Nations League, Under 17 World Cup, Gold Cup, blah, blah, blah. Lots of stuff. We'll be covering all of it, just like we have for the last 6 years. Better than everyone else, including the straight red card. The road to America becoming Soccer Nation is bumpy. Okay. Show more?
There's more. Before I click more. Actually, it won't go away. Click on my comment right there. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
But we keep going. That's all it was.
Okay.
So yeah, we have Nations League, we have the Under 17s, we have the Gold Cup. I'm sure there's a U20 in there somewhere too. World Cup qualifying, Olympics, Copa America, all leading up, all the road to 2030 starts with just that. So I had to jump in.
Yeah. Somebody said,
are you suggesting those are just stepping stones for 2020?
Yeah. Somebody says Pete has a horrible track record with prospects. Yeah, I
So
would.
you're talking about this one? Oh no, here. Okay.
If I were to recommend one thing to Pete and Tact, is to not overly endorse any particular players at all, even if they look like fucking hot fire. Closest I've gone recently is like Gozo looks really good. That's as far as I'm going, though. I'm not going to say anything more than Gozo looks really good. That's it. I'm not saying any more than that. I am not getting anybody's nutsack. I'm not creating a list of my 11 prospects, 13, 20 prospects that I'm really pretty sure these are the top 20 they're going to break through, because it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, and it's a guessing game. You don't know. You just don't know. You got to wait for things to happen.
Well, as we said, MLS has what was it, like a 1% or was it a 2% turnover from their academy prospects to actual professionals and anywhere?
1%.
It's something small and ridiculous like that. Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, hey, here's a guy you need to keep an eye out on.
I agree with that. Yep.
That's perfectly fine. Saying, hey, this guy's showing talent, but not saying like he will usher in a new world for U.S. soccer. That's
I don't think either of them say that.
I went to the extreme between so there's somewhere between hey, keep an eye on these guys and new Messi,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
I mean, I think the honest answer is, and people haven't said it, we said it on one of our shows, there are literally hundreds of kids at hundreds of places in the Bundesliga, in England. There's some kids in Spain, in Holland. I mean, you start adding up all the numbers in Italy, and you put them together with the MLS guy. There's hundreds. There's 100, at least 100, maybe 80, 90. I don't know.
Top divisions, maybe 100 in the top divisions of Europe, all around Europe.
Yeah.
But you start branching off to Bundesliga 2, EFL, Serie B even. I mean, all of a sudden the numbers exponentially grow.
Yep. And
so, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, only 1% of them are going to make it, guys. So you can go out there and say, I really like this about this player and that about this player, this about this 18, 17, 19, well, 19, they're done, 16, 15-year-old, and all that's fine. But Brett and I have been doing this for a lot longer than anybody else out there right now. And trust us when we tell you, wait and see. Do not get overly invested in any player. You can keep an eye on him, as Brett said, but don't invest yourself, because all kinds of weird shit happens. Injuries, regressions. They just don't pan out.
Yeah.
Okay, so be careful.
Here's an interesting example. Berhalter. A prime example of a guy who literally was on the cusp of quitting soccer.
Yep.
Before his move to Vancouver, and now look at him now. He played in the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's a complete potluck. When you're talking about youth players develop at different rates. Some shine early, then fizzle out. Some shine a little bit later.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to visually see, hey, this guy is expressing talent.
Some become models.
Some become models. Not very. I mean, I feel like it's a common thing with athletes, especially soccer players, because they're generally decent-looking, ripped people for the most part.
Somebody brought up Hoppy too. It's like, okay, yeah, we covered Hoppy a lot on the show, and we still talk about him in the Yanks Abroad, but that's not because we think he's going to be a U.S. men's national team player. It's really out of, at this point, the fact that we have ties, where I have specifically ties to the family. So, yeah, we bring up Hoppy. But
I fizzled off the Hoppy train pretty quickly.
Yes.
I think for me, it was his attitude and his ability. He's still a decent enough striker. But I think it's his attitude he brought up to the pitch that really drew me towards him on that front. But then you start going to clubs, and you're not playing at Mallorca. You're not playing in rando Scottish team. I forgot which team he was at.
Was it Livingston? I don't
Something
know.
ridiculous like that. Barely,
Yeah.
he played a little bit here in MLS. He's not playing there. He's not playing here. And it's just like at some point you just got to chalk it off and say, "Yep, it's not panning out." But I mean, there are attributes to his game that I liked a lot.
Iberian. Sorry.
Thank you. Yep, it was.
Hibernian.
So
I should know, as a Celt, apparently, I should know how to pronounce that better. Go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, it's one of those things. Again, when you're talking about even professional players at that point, it's easy to get blindsided and to jump on the hype train and not jump off. But then you start talking about youth prospects, and it's even worse because you start. We saw this all the way back to the big soccer days. People just jumped on certain trains and would never get off. And it's maybe he'll pan out here. Maybe he'll pan out. No, he's not panning out.
One of our friends was still on Freddie Adu, the Freddie Adu bandwagon, when he was in Finland. Finland's third division. It's like, dude, have you not figured it out? Are you still smoking the Freddie Adu weed? You need to get off that shit. He's playing. He didn't even play. He's in third division Finland, and the manager of the team in that Finnish team said we didn't want him. He was forced upon us.
Colin is still on the Adu bandwagon. Hey, you know what? When he was playing with our U20s and the Olympics and all that stuff, you saw the flashes. You looked at him like, this kid could pan out.
Yeah.
And when he came and played for the national team, there were still moments of brilliance there. Followed up by a bunch of, was he on the pitch?
Yeah, exactly.
Did he play today?
Colin says, I love a dude. Why don't you marry him, Colin? Why don't you marry him, dude? All right. I don't think a dude swings that way or Colin swings that way. If you do, fine, marry him. I don't care.
But they could go out to a pub and grab a beer.
And then hook up. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's maybe after the third year. We don't know that.
All right. What else we got here?
Tactical. Go ahead. You got it.
The odds of Pochettino. Oh, that's not how TAC talks. All right, no.
Let's hear it, Derek. Go for it.
I'm not gonna do attack. All right, he deserves it. He deserves a mocking. But the odds of Pochettino staying with the U.S. men's national team keeps increasing. U.S. Soccer CEO JT Basson said there are active discussions. Pochettino was part of the discussion that led to the hiring of Toronto. Oh, so yes, he was part of the discussions that led to Toronto's U23.
He was at the table. He was at the table.
He was at the table. He was half asleep, but yes, he was there. I'm expecting an official announcement no later than late August. Well, that's fucking a long time.
Well, hopefully Trundle's welcoming or able to step up for the September friendlies. Because that's going to, I mean, I guess Poach could easily step in at this point because he knows the player pool, but that's a little crazy. Late August? Well,
Poach just announced he was going to tell us this next week.
No?
On his own Instagram.
You mean his the post where he meant to post his feet to OnlyFans?
Yeah, disgusting. We don't want to see your feet, dude. All right.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to see your feet.
I don't. But I'm sure there's some grouping of
some
OnlyFans
freaks out there who love feet and want to suck his toes. Yeah, they're always weirdos. But you don't put up a post of your feet. That's disgusting. Thousands of us will be disgusted by it. And one weirdo will be like saving it to his fucking in a folder somewhere so he can jerk to it later. But other than that, nobody wants to see your feet.
Mr. Danny wants to know why Tack deserves a mocking.
Because Tack recently came out and did a show and said
we're shit. He said we're shit.
He said his show, and Pete, he mentioned Pete, are the only show they cover U.S. soccer comprehensively in a way it deserves, and that the rest of us, the rest of us, are not doing enough. We're not doing our jobs. So
he's waiting for somebody to step up and take the proverbial baton from him. That's why him and Pete are are re-signing until 2030, and then they'll readdress their contract situation at that point.
And he needs to be mocked because he can't pronounce Matisse Albert's name correctly. Correct. Here, they're still calling him Mathis Albert like they're from fucking Tennessee or something. All right? That's why we're mocking him. Now, listen, just for anybody who missed it, we're kidding around. We love Tact and Pete. And this is just friendly banter, right? We're busting their balls a bit.
I gave you all a shout out during that speech. I will have to go back and rewatch it, but I don't recall our name being brought up.
We did not get a shout out in that speech. We just watched it today. People sent it to us and said, "You got no shout out." We mention them all the time on this show. We're always like, Pete said this and Tact said that. We don't always agree with them. But, you know, those guys, we've been friends with them for a long time. So I don't think they did it out of, I don't think Tact did it out of malice.
No, let's be
actually offended.
I don't expect them to shout us out like that.
No, I don't
He's talking about how him and Pete are continuing to do their shows.
Yes.
That's all that whole video is for. This is just a good ribbing. That's all.
And cheers to them for continuing on.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, we still like their show. I mean, and we still like them. I still like them. I just had a text back and forth with Pete like less than a week ago. It's all right. Everything's all cool.
Eric wants you to take your shirt off.
Dude, you don't want to see these moves. You don't want to see these moves. But again, Brett, there's some weirdos that are into all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I am soon to be 55 years old, people. You don't want to see this hairy ass chest.
Let's see. Yeah. I can get rid of that one because we basically talked about that. We talked about that. All right, let's see. Pochettino ends up leaving, and we have to look for an American coach. These are the only ones that I would look at.
Well, you can look at Matarazzo all you want, but he's not leaving Real Sociedad anytime soon. BJ Callahan would probably take the job. Where the fuck is Hudson at now?
I'll have to look that one up, man. But I mean, he was the spark that led to BJ.
Yeah, that sounds gross, but yeah.
Yeah,
and
right.
Tab Ramos has absolutely zero. Let me make that really clear. Zero chance of being the U.S. manager. And you can add Hugo Perez being lower than zero. He has a negative 100% chance, Hugo Perez, of becoming the U.S. manager.
That's
negative.
That's not us saying
That's
negative
not us.
things about him.
I'm telling you, yes, what U.S. Soccer think of these guys. And U.S. Soccer does not like Tab Ramos at all. Then they fucking don't care about Hugo Perez. As far as they're concerned, he might as well be on the moon. He might as well be on the moon to U.S. Soccer.
Yeah. Winalda is less, he says. Less of a
Winalda has gotten zero. Well, yeah, he's got minus 200% chance.
He's actually on the opposite side of the spectrum where he might actually be getting closer towards becoming coach again.
He's on like fucking Jupiter, dude. He's on Jupiter.
Yeah, well, I think we covered Tab criticizing U.S. Soccer the other day. I think it was on one of our shows recently.
I mean, honestly, after watching Tab with Mr. Mustache, Tom Bogert on that show, I'm kind of having a little less respect for Tab these days. That show has some weird segments and weird opinions here and there. I won't get into specific ones. Maybe we'll take that on at some point. I'm not losing respect for him as a player and as a youth coach. He was really good at both. But that show, I don't know.
I don't know. The clips that make the rounds seem fine. I don't know about the rest of the show though, so I can't.
Well, I've watched a full few. You're right. Most of the clips are okay. They're pretty good. But there have been times I've listened to some of the shit, and it was today. And I wish I would have clipped it and given it to you. And I was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And I can't remember what it was.
Anthony Hudson is currently the manager of Thailand.
Oh, yeah, hire him immediately. I prefer BJ over Anthony Hudson. I don't think Hudson's coming back. No. Not anytime soon. And plus, there's a lot of good food in Thailand.
I almost wonder once U.S. Soccer made it apparent that he was just going to be an interim, that he was not going to get the actual gig, regardless of how well he performed. I wonder if Hudson said some choice words because he just bounced.
He bounced.
He bounced straight to Saudi.
He did fast, and that lasted. That's not good. That lasted minutes, not literally, but sure felt that way. The only guy in this list of 5. I love when people put out these lists, and it's like, no, impossible, not going to happen. No, impossible, not possible, 100% not possible. And you're like, you have one guy on your list of 6 people who are even remotely have a chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
In an interview with the NB Claw, Noobkla, Tim Ream was asked who the next U.S. men's national team captain could be. He said, "It's me." No, he said, "I've been helping a few guys out because that's what I'm good at. I'm a helper. To be honest with you, I guess not overtly, but more metaphorically, but having different conversations with guys, because obviously gals aren't going to be on the team, helping them to see things a little bit differently than they have in the past, not like losers. I think Chris Richards is made for it. I think he would be perfect. But again, it's going to come down to whoever is in charge and what they see and what characteristics and what personalities they value. But I think Chris has all the intangibles to be the next captain. And while he doesn't like to be peed on in the shower, he's already a leader within the group. He already knows when and how to approach guys differently when he wants to pee on them in the shower. But I think that the biggest key is knowing all the different personalities within the room and how you relate to each and every one of them, especially in the shower.
So, I mean, I don't understand this. I mean, does Ream host every window a captain training seminar? That, hey, if you're interested after I retire at the age of 54 here in a few weeks, if you're interested in my captaincy, please sign up here, take a picture, scan this QR code, and fill out the form.
Well, Tim Ream. Somebody asked him specifically, and he just answered.
Sure.
He don't really give a fuck.
Well, I mean, he's been helping a few guys become captain. But he's only been captain for a little bit here, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
And then he mentions the guy he's literally next to all game, probably all practice, probably every lunch, probably rooms together with him.
Yeah. And
don't get me wrong, I think Richards would be perfectly fine moving forward. But I mean, it's just like, what's he? I mean, I agree with you. He was asked a question, he gave an answer. That's all it is. But still, it seems a little silly.
It does. Well, he gave his best answer, but he is right in the end. He's got no sway in this. That's going to be whoever, and if it's Poach, then we'll see who it is. It's probably Chris Richards over Adams. Whatever Adams has done as a leader, he might talk too much shit, I don't know, in practice or whatever, and maybe poaches it into an antagonizing leader. He wants a leader, right? Maybe he's not into Roy Keane style of leadership. Maybe he's more into something else, a Zidane sort of leadership. Who knows? Did you hear Tab Ramos trash Pochettino yesterday? Maybe I did. I think I did. Yeah, I watched some Tab Ramos stuff with Don't Bogart that joint, my friend. With Tom, Don't Bogart that joint, my friend. And so, I mean, I watched it. I don't remember specifically what he said, so you can lay it on us here because I forgot about it as soon as I heard it. Is this new?
Yeah, he's talking about criticism on Pulisic.
Okay.
I don't take any joy in being critical of national team players. I honestly don't.
Be a little fun.
I mean, he takes a little joy. There's a little Schadenfreude in there somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, I think
small.
no joy. There's gonna be a little.
There's got to be a little Schadenfreude, just a little. Yeah.
Problem with our society is, and I get it, I know how the game works. If I say something negative about Christian, 10 million people will view it. 98% of the time, I am glowing about Christian. Correct. On our podcast and otherwise. I'm talking positive, but maybe 1 million people read that because it's not sexy and it's not attractive. And
It's definitely not sexy with that wig on.
Let's say maybe dye your hair a little bit or do something crazy. I don't know.
No. I mean, listen, here's the thing, Donovan, and he knows this. It's your criticism, your analysis, which is critical. That's what people want to hear. Nobody wants to hear you slobbering over fucking Pulisic's knob. So yes, people tune in for criticism. That's normal.
I mean, which one are you clicking on? You clicking on something that says, "Hey, he played well," or are you going to click on something that's like, "It's a horrible game of his"?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's nice to have the positive. Come out of a game, you win whatever 5-0, and we just absolutely torch the team, and everybody's just glowing. As I'm using his phrase here, gushing over the players. They did great. And it gives you a nice feeling and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, as a whole, you're not. Most people aren't clicking on the happy-go-lucky. Hey, here's a some guy that saved a puppy from floods.
Oh, I love the puppy stuff.
Fair enough. I mean, it's that example, I know, but trying to pull back here.
But I think you're right. I mean, it's like the reason people pay attention to Donovan because he was sort of in Pulisic's spot once. That's why they might pay attention. I don't know about 10 million. I can't remember the last show they had that had 10 million views. I don't think any, but it gets passed around. Quotes get passed around, obviously.
Sure.
So,
and I mean, if this is weighing you down in that sense, you just got to do like earlier when you did the Stu Holden impersonation. I chimed in and said, "Hey, yeah, no offense, bro."
And he's not really said anything that horrible, by the way. Donovan's not said anything so horrible that he can't be forgiven by Pulisic.
He said some dumb things, but not anything harsh in the sense that like, oh, geez, I wouldn't have said that. Good Lord, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's been critical when times are required of him being critical. I think he's gushed on him whenever he's done well and able to be gushed upon. He may say some comments that you disagree with. Hey, you should have instead of signing with AC Milan, you should come to MLS. That type of thing.
That was cheesy, but now it looks like that's what actually Pulisic wants to do. So
it was 4 years. It was 3.5 years too early.
Yeah, absolutely.
Prematurely, predicted it.
Yeah.
Nostradamovan?
No. He's been horrible at predictions. But is that all? Is that all we're doing on this?
No, of course not.
Oh, okay.
This is the last thing I got. I would just summarize basically what we think at the end here as a whole.
Doesn't get clicks, right? I know how the game works. I'm not stupid. We made a commitment when we started this that we were going to
have been stupid before.
Right? We're not going to just criticize to criticize and get clicks. We don't need neither of us need this in our life. We do it because we want to do it. So I don't take any joy in that as a starting point. To your question, I realize generations are different. I believe Christian. I saw the play. I saw the foul, which was a foul, by the way. And I know that hurts like hell. I've been there. I've kicked the bottom of a cleat 100 times, and it really hurts. My point was you would have had to drag me off the field because I would have said it's a World Cup knockout game at home. I'm not coming out. Now,
well, I think Pulisic didn't come out right away, though.
That's selfish. That I should get out of the way so the next player, but I'm always going to bet on myself. I don't care if I have one leg hanging. If we get one chance in the box, I'm going to score.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you can have that confidence in yourself, but I mean, and this is just me remembering and stuff like that, but I recall many games where Donovan was a ghost.
Sure.
So it's not like he's like, oh, if I had one leg and if I was in that box,
the whole 2006 World Cup.
I call bullshit on that. I mean, I understand that he has the quote unquote winner mentality in that sense that he always wants to be on the pitch, and I get that, and I think that he 100% agrees with that. And he would actually, as a player, he absolutely did that. But to his point, he kind of started making there that he was going to immediately squash in the sense that, it might be considered selfish to be playing at 70% of your quality when you have a person on the bench who might be able to come in and actually apply something at 100% and make a change. And he's not even addressing the fact that that Pulisic was putting up an absolute fucking stinker that entire game.
Yes.
So you have a stinker performance. You just bruised your ankle or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
High bruise or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. Microfracture.
And then they get the third goal at that point. You're like, dude, I'm not gonna be able to provide.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I think it's still a little.
He's still calling Pulisic a pussy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's what he's saying. Like that's not even that tender about it either. He's essentially saying your microfracture to me is, is gay apparel, right? It's Christmas stuff. It's you're weak, you're soft. So I mean, you can put even with all the preface to that. That's what he's saying. You're a pussy. So, I mean, I can understand if you're Landon Donovan not liking that. And, he's also been really critical about the crew around Pulisic, too, saying they overprotect him. He doesn't speak for himself. He doesn't do any interviews because he's a pussy. He doesn't say pussy, but that's basically what he's saying when he says that. I really wish he'd just be his own person and speak for himself because he's kind of a pussy, letting his dad and everybody around him do it, right?
Yeah.
What are you on about?
Sorry, while you're talking about that, I did stumble across all of Salonita's goals he let in.
Oh, well, you'd missed a lot of great stuff there, Brett.
No, I heard you the entire time. I can hear and watch at the same time, Derek. Come on.
Really? You can chew gum and walk?
Ish, Derek. Ish.
Chewing gum and jerking off, though, that's really hard. Anyhow, so it is what it is.
Rubbing your tummy and patting your head?
Yeah, actually, it's not. I can definitely chew gum. I don't chew gum. I hate gum. Gum sucks.
What a pointless thing.
If you guys out there are gum lovers, don't take, it's just my personal opinion. I think gum sucks. All right.
I think it's a coping mechanism to not do dip.
Not to do dip.
I don't want to do this. It'll really fuck up my mouth, so I'm going to chew this other piece of shit.
Dip at least gives you a
buzz,
a nicotine high.
Yeah.
And it makes you smarter. Nicotine is actually really good for your brain. Did you know that? Now, we're not endorsing smoking here or dipping. I'm just saying nicotine's actually a really good thing for your brain. And
we're a much harder nation when we did endorse smoking,
Harder, yeah. I was. But that was years ago. All right. For the 188 of you that were here tonight, make sure you like, subscribe, and share with your grandma. It's been a fucking pleasure having you all here, especially having some of the old timers come back.
That's for 4 more years, Derek. For 4 more years.
We're not even threatening to leave because, we're not big enough, nor are we comprehensive enough.
So definitely beating this horse.
Yeah, nobody really would be worried if we left because we're just not that good at what we do. So
where'd those guys go?
Wink, wink, tack, right? Anyhow, we love. We will see you guys all soon. There will be a midweek show about something else coming up soon, and that something else will be
64-man World Cup.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the 64-man fucking World Cup. Like a lot of people,
everybody and their mothers are getting in and out.
Well, a lot of morons are putting out like these 64 teams, and they're like, "Oh, well, no. I mean, obviously, Oceania's not getting another spot." Yes, they are. Yes, they are getting another spot. Anybody who thinks that Oceania is not getting another spot is smoking some grass. They're getting 2 guaranteed spots. So, hello, Tahiti. All right.
Woo!
Oh, did we miss this?
I missed it. Yeah, I saw it and I didn't go back to it.
S27, we apologize. Is Pulisic actually coming to MLS and NYCFC? We addressed this a little earlier. Pulisic, from the rumors that I'm hearing from, and I can't really tell you how I know this, guys.
Well, we also you said that you're hearing a lot of it's coming out of the Italian media too.
It's coming out of Italian media, but okay, that's as far as I'm going to. I use that as cover for what I know.
Yeah.
As from what I know, Pulisic is really pressuring his agents. The word is he wants to come home. And MLS, of course, he wants to come back to the United States. And if that means playing for NYFC, which sounds like a pretty good deal, then great. NYFC honestly gave up after the World Cup, A, because Pulisic had a poor World Cup, and B, AC Milan said, fuck off. Now, we'll see how much pressure Pulisic will put on AC Milan to let him go. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. But apparently he wants to go now.
Do you think some of it may stem from the debacle of, as far as AC Milan playing him a lot while he was injured, and he basically ran on a nagging injury nonstop? The move to MLS at that point would be a lot cushier as far as the day-to-day rigmarole that would be required upon your body, and you'd be making some fat cash.
And you really want to play for that new manager at AC Milan? I don't know about that. But he would get paid a shitload of money to come here. So we'll see what happens. I don't know how this is going to work out. I can only tell you that's what I've heard. Now, I don't know if I'm being deceived. And I say that because, all right, I'm just going to flat out say, agents make shit up. They make shit up. And I have to say, it's no secret that Wasserman has been pushing this shit for at least a month now, maybe more. So I'm not going to say who, because it's multiple people. But I have other people who also are in contact with Wasserman agents. So I can only tell you what's coming out, what's bubbling to the top. And the word is on the street that Pulisic wants to come back to the United States. And he would like that to be New York City FC if that's possible. And he wants to take a whole lot of fucking cash when he does it and make a whole lot of fucking money doing it. And now I know that there were a lot of MLS teams who are like wavering because after the World Cup, he's not exactly was the hero everybody was hoping he would be. So there's that conflict and the fact that AC Milan are saying, fuck off, we're not selling him to you. So anyhow, I
still think MLS teams would be happy to pay the money for him regardless.
Some will.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, some will still pay him that. But I think we'll see. We're going to have to wait and see, just like all of the youth talent, folks. You wait and see. You don't make any definitive predictions when you really don't know shit yet. And we don't. We just know what is being pushed at us by certain people. And sometimes what they push at us is bullshit. So we got to wait and see. All right. Until the next time on the Straight Red Card, have a great night. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you soon.
That hurt.
Welcome to the post-match press conference of the match between...
Sometimes people have sex in different ways. 69. And one way is a type of sex called oral sex.
It's really good. You know,
I don't particularly enjoy it.
set the right tone, set the standards.
No, it's not one of my favorites.
Knowledge and also experience from different people. And
only if you're doing it right.
I am very good.
Every man thinks he knows which positions women love, but most are completely wrong.